The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Yes, speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Good afternoon, beautiful people. It is Wednesday, February 7th, 2021. Big show for you today that'll begin immediately following this beat drop from a guy named Twine. Bang! There it went. Here we go. A lot of conversations today with incredible guests. From the Oakland Raiders. Oh, I'm sorry. The Las Vegas Raiders. Formerly the LA Raiders. Darren Waller, tight end, will be joining us. Shout out to him. He's a friend of the show, been on before. Incredible conversation, incredible story. Also, incredible tight end who is being underpaid immensely. Where will he be at the end of his career? Are the Raiders going to pay Darren Waller for what he's worth, which is an electrifying tight end that took over some games in prime time this year? Can't wait to chat with him in about 22 minutes, especially with the current state of my relationship with Raiders fans. I'm excited to see how I handle that conversation with Darren Waller. Maybe I'll be trying to bait him to go to a team that'll care for him. Ooh, you know what I mean? Maybe I will. Okay. Or maybe I'll say, hey, the Raiders, they saw you warming up for another team and said, let's get that guy over here. Then they put him in a position to succeed, and they do so. Everybody else could have had Darren Waller. They chose not to. The Raiders are the only ones that really put him in a position to succeed, and he has done that. Congrats to Darren Waller. He'll be talking to us in about 21 minutes. And in the second hour, two-time Super Bowl champion LaShawn McCoy will be joining us.
Hey, come on.
15,000 rushing yards or yards from scrimmage, I believe, on his entire career. Those are Hall of Fame-like numbers. He was electrifying whenever he was playing for the Eagles, the Bills. Last year, he goes to the Chiefs. This year, he's with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He wins 2 Super Bowls, gets 2 rings. Now he's probably sailing off into the sunset, maybe, or playing another year. We'll talk to him about that. Plus, his experience in the NFL, his life in the NFL. You know, he was there for Chip Kelly for a little bit. Then Chip Kelly sent him out of town, right?
Yeah.
Traded him for a linebacker. I forget his name.
Kiko Alonso.
Yeah, there it is. He comes back there. He goes up to Buffalo. Everybody thought he was potentially going to mail it in because he's an Eastern Pennsylvania guy playing for his hometown team, Eagles. Kind of got shipped out of town. Was he going to get better? Complete opposite. Turned it up there. Started balling out for Buffalo. Can't wait to chat with him about what it was like to be a part of the last 2 Super Bowl teams. What are the Chiefs like? What are the Bucs like? What is your life like? That'll be at about 1:05 Eastern Standard Time. Literally 59 minutes and 55 seconds from right now. And in the third hour, Jason Sanders, who just inked a 5-year, $22 million deal with the Miami Dolphins down there. Nobody knows what the quarterback position is going to look like going forward in Miami, but everybody knows that Jason Sanders is going to be their kicker. He's a hell of a ball kicker. Also scored a touchdown 2 years ago. The guy's an absolute legend, and he just earned himself quite a bag. Maybe he'll buy the condo from Gronk that is down there in the 305. Hey. Speaking of, free agency is like 1 month from right now. Gronkowski is potentially a free agent, although the world believes that he is only going to play with Tom Brady. Yesterday, Rob Ninkovich came in and basically said, why wouldn't Gronk hit the free agency? Why wouldn't Gronk go see what the market has to say about him? Why wouldn't Gronk experience something for the first time in his entire career to see, you know, what everybody else kind of puts a value on him? Rob Ninkovich said, why not a 3-year, $10 to $12 million a year deal? Have him in the red zone, be your big third down target. There's a lot of teams that would probably be interested. That's 30 to 36 million is what Rob Ninkovich is thinking in his head. Now, I don't know how much Rob has talked to Rob about this entire thing or how much Rob Ninkovich has talked to other NFL GMs to put a price tag on what Gronkowski would make. But would Rob Gronkowski turn down that massive paycheck just to remain tight end for Tom Brady? A lot of people would say yes. I happen to think yes, he would, because he said it in the past, I'll retire. And now that was Detroit. Pre-kneecap 9, Detroit.
Thank you.
He said, I'll just retire. Tom Brady's my quarterback. Then Tom Brady goes to Tampa. He goes, I'll go play with Tom in Tampa or whatever. So is it just because it was Detroit that he said that? Or is there a chance that maybe if Miami comes in, offers him big money with B-Flow, a guy he knows rather well, would he not just go ahead and do that? That's a big conversation to be had. We'll talk about that today. All the other free agents, Dak Prescott, is he going to get franchise tagged? If he gets franchise tagged for the next 2 years or whatever, he'll earn $120 million in 3 years, which would be the highest paid quarterback. Everybody's saying that the Dallas Cowboys have fucked this up so bad that they're not going to be able to handle whatever the cap call is for Dak Prescott to be their quarterback long term. Will they franchise tag him? That's $37 million. What will happen with the salary cap next year? People are saying it's potentially going to go down. Then they're saying, no, it'll plateau. Then now we're saying it might go up a little bit. If the NFL found a way to make money this past season with nobody in the stands, I would assume that the NFL Players Association is going to wonder about the negotiations that they have about how much money, who people. Imagine if the NFL was able to turn a massive profit this season, which, by the way, they probably will somehow. I don't know how they'll do it. They probably will. They had 47 million people watching the NFC Championship. There's a massive amount. If the salary cap goes up, that indicates that they made money, right? It's because of the percentage of overall income and revenue, which is split into the players, 50-50, 49-51, maybe. I forget what it is. But if the NFL figured out how to make money this year with no stadiums basically being allowed to be filled, no beers to be chugged, no nachos to be overpriced, no merch at the stadium to be sold, no parking, no anything like that, I think you got to give it. The NFL might be the greatest business of all time.
Oh, yeah.
Literally of all time. But that salary cap is going to be the deciding factor for a lot of guys. A lot of guys currently on rosters, the contracts are big. They're going to get cut potentially if the salary cap stays or goes down, because when those contracts were negotiated, the idea was that that salary cap would continue to rise. So there's more money, because then it goes, in ratio to how the salary cap climbs, so does your contract. A lot of guys. I'm not saying there isn't guys that get front loaded and kind of falls off on the back. I understand that. But for some players, a lot of players, it kind of goes up as the salary cap is expected to go up. Those numbers are to remain the same due to negotiation that has already happened no matter what happens to the salary cap. So if that thing plateaus, look for some cap casualties that we could have never thought about. Look for people not to get re-signed, places that we could have never thought about. If that thing goes down, look for that definitely. If that goes up, I'm excited to see what moves get made, because you saw what the Chiefs were able to do after. What will Tampa do? Who all end up down there? Adrian Peterson's already saying, get me down there. Yep. You got running backs and other vets like LaShawn McCoy are like, get me down there. How are they able to navigate it all? And Ndamukong Suh said he's not hanging up. Are they going to have to pay him again? There is a lot to be had this offseason. It all depends upon the salary cap. And Dak Prescott with the Dallas Cowboys, that's going to be an indicator as well. If Dak hits the market, look for everybody to go bananas that is currently looking for a quarterback. And then what will Dallas do? Does that mean Dallas is going to get into play for another one of the quarterbacks? Maybe Carson Wentz goes down to Dallas.
Whoa.
Huh?
There's something in the division.
Huh?
Who says no?
Get back at the Eagles.
That'd be great. Anyways, there's a lot to talk about today. A lot of your phone calls as well. 1-888-MAD-DOG-6. 25 years ago, yesterday, Happy Gilmore was debuted to the world, and a sensation was created. Still being watched to this day. Still an impactful movie in the sports world, in the golf world, basically in everyday life. The fact that yesterday, Happy, Shooter, Ben Stiller's character, should have known the name, Hal, the characters, they all bought in, played in, utilized social media, took over the world. I'm a massive fan of. Mostly because Happy still got it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, that ball was I'm not lying, it was smashed. Smashed. Absolutely slaughtered. Shooter McGavin, by the way, still has his fastball. Cut a promo, put the camera down, made a putt, cut a promo, all in one shot. And then obviously Ben Stiller gets involved there at the end, talking about Happy's mother. It was a beautiful day on the internet yesterday, okay? Absolutely beautiful day on the internet. What that led to was us also looking up old Shooter McGavin internet videos. I assume Shooter has lived a much different life than Adam Sandler has at this point. Yeah. Shooter still potentially got a fastball that people think is a bit creepy, but if that movie happens, Happier Gilmore, I'm all about it. They need it. We need it. It was nice to take a trip down memory lane yesterday at Bubba Gumpino, sitting in the COVID Cowboys chair, the Canadian Cowboy, because Diggs is the first one in the office to take his forced vacation that is being implied for everybody. Gumpy, did you guys watch that in Canada? You watch Happy Gilmore in Canada?
Love Happy Gilmore, Pat. Absolute classic. Just good. Trying to fill the COVID Cowboys boots over here, per se.
Well, the COVID Cowboys boots, we do know they do not get on horses, but they they do ride bets. Gumpy, do you have any soccer bets for the people today that we can potentially chat about?
We got some Champions League action.
What is that now? Champions League is what?
So Champions League is basically the best teams in soccer from all over the world play in a tournament.
Oh, really? LA Galaxy?
MLS hasn't made it there yet. Maybe
Tampa.
one day.
So it's not all over the world. All right, guys, everybody but here.
Come on.
Okay. All right.
Sevilla is playing Dortmund today.
Who's Sevilla? Sevilla's from
Sevilla's
Italy.
from Spain.
Spain. Fuck.
Dortmund from Germany. Germany
Let's
is
go,
a
Dortmund.
very good squad.
Oh, yeah.
They've been struggling. They've only won 2 of 7. Sevilla's won 9 straight. You can get Sevilla on draw no bet right now at FanDuel at -120.
What
I
does that
love
mean?
that bet. You pick them. If they win, you win. But if they tie, you get your money back.
Oh, you kind of hope for that at a lot of like table games at casinos. In fact, FanDuel's got to be very stupid for doing that. That seems like a dumb decision because soccer loves tying. Isn't that what soccer loves doing?
That's what it's all about.
Loves tying.
Draw
Hey,
City.
Hey, go ahead, way to go. Way to
It's a
go.
point. Point's a point.
Wait, there was a show I watched that was about soccer, about the like beginnings of soccer almost. The game, how it was created by the yuppies, and then there was this like factory team that was created that had to travel on train to go play. Oh my God, I watched it this weekend. It was a good.
Was it the
What was it
Aztecs
on?
kicking heads?
No, was it
Big Green.
great?
It's a great movie.
By the way, that is not. I mean, what I just described, by the way, is not the Big Green at all.
Right. No
But I do
trains.
like that you saw a soccer movie and thought Big Green. No, this is
Greatest
like a
goalie
series.
of all time.
It's like a series over there in England. There was an Irish man involved in it, whatever. But soccer is such an interesting thing because it is considered like, isn't it considered like the beautiful game and like respect and all that shit and all that?
Absolutely.
So like tying is completely okay. That's why every time in football, when a tie happens, everybody's like, this ain't soccer or whatever.
Yeah.
And now FanDuel's like, hey, it is soccer. And if you do tie, we don't love it either. Get your fucking money
So
back.
in the 90s, teams used to play for the tie so much they used to only get 2 points for a win. That's why they changed it to 3 because too many people. It's only a difference of a point. Just play for the draw.
Oh, because you get 1 point if you tie.
Exactly. So they
They used
moved
to
it.
pack it in.
Yeah.
They run a 9-2.
Park the
Park
bus.
the bus.
8-2, I guess. Yeah.
Was it called The
Absolutely.
English Game?
Maybe, yeah.
That's the last Netflix doc about soccer.
Is it a doc or a mini series? There was actors. in
Netflix
it.
series, yes.
Yeah. So that was the one. What's it called?
The English Game.
Yeah, we watched it. Pretty good.
Really?
Yeah, pretty good.
Good reviews.
There's a
Like-
good. There's
What's
a good
that?
one called The Damned United.
Hold on. What were you gonna
Pretty
say?
good, like the Young Rock.
Oh, you shut your mouth.
Is that what you're saying?
Shut your mouth.
Pretty good.
All right, we opened it up. So last night on NBC.
The greatest sitcom of all time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Zito at Viva La Zito just chimed in there. Zito has been pumping this for 2 to 3 months at this point.
Oh, no,
Long
years.
time.
When Zito started, maybe even longer than that, like maybe 6 months. Zito in the office one morning said, Rock's got a doc coming out. And I was like, really?
Let's go.
Very excited about
Exactly.
it. Very excited about it. Then everybody started doing their research and they're like, there's no documentary on Rock coming out. And Zito goes, I just saw it. So then he looks it up. Young Rock is the thing. Zito starts creating what the sitcom's going to be before anybody knows what the sitcom's even going to be. Probably even before The Rock even knew what the Young Rock was
I was
gonna
an
be.
EP on the show.
Zito was like, it's going to be a story. Like Zito did this whole thing. Then like 2 months ago, he's like, hey, it has a launch date now. Then yesterday, he was like, hey, tonight's the night. Like Zito has been counting down literally months to last night's Young Rock debut on NBC, which was the beginning of 2 debuts. It was premieres like a Young Rock and Keenan show. I didn't get a chance to stay through Keenan's show. I gave it a go. I like Keenan. I'm a big Keenan fan for a long time. That show I don't think was meant for me. Young Rock, okay?
Hell yeah.
You got Dewey Johnson.
Yeah,
yeah.
okay. Obviously.
Okay, Dewey Johnson. You got wrestling. Andre the Giant's in there. Oh yeah, I mean his dad obviously is big, but you got Ed Orgeron in there. Coach O is in there. The U was represented in there by like children. It looked like they had 12, 13-year-olds in the weight room for the U or
That was
whatever.
Warren Sapp.
Yeah, well, it looked like they had 12-year-olds around him, but like everything about it was basically like, okay, this is I'm gonna watch this. And I'll tell you what, interesting concept, okay? He turned like a documentary into like a sitcom with him narrating it via an interview that is happening in 2032 for when he inevitably runs for president. It was very interesting to watch, you know, because as you're watching, you're like, Andre the Giant, this is awesome.
Yeah.
That Andre the Giant knew The Rock as a child, and they were having card games basically at his house and everything like that, and they were good friends. And then it's like, okay, so he's literally known like the biggest superstars on earth for his entire life, and then him meeting Waffle, the crackhead in his car.
yeah, sure.
You know, it was very.
Thank you,
know,
Waffle.
It was literally because of an interview in which they asked him if he was still relatable to people. So he told us his story, and we got to learn a lot about The Rock last night. There was some criticism from some people.
Really?
I will watch episode 2 though. I just want to let everybody. There was definitely criticism, and I believe it opened itself up for some criticism.
Sure.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean I'm not going to watch it next fucking week. I am. I just want to let everybody know that. Now, there's a guy in the back.
Yeah, okay.
All right, which, Connor, I believe this is why you even brought this up, is to hear from this guy.
I did want to hear what he had to say,
Nick has some thoughts on Young Rock. Nick, you are a big sitcom guy. You love sitcoms. You're a guy that loves wrestling, loves The Rock. You know,
I do love The Rock, Pat.
Yeah.
I do love The Rock. I read his autobiography when I was a young man myself, and I was inspired by his story of sleeping on a mattress, trying to play for the CFL with no money in his pocket, trying to make it big. That show sucked. That was the worst television show I've ever seen in my life.
I hope The Rock slaps you right in the
mouth.
face.
Right in the mouth. I hope you get a smack right in the mouth. And I'll tell you what, Nick, you are in the minority when saying that. The Rock told us that this morning. Please play that video. Nobody thought what you thought. You were in. The Rock told us that this morning. Please, Foxy.
All right. Well, the East Coast premiere of Young Rock has come and gone, and I want to say thank you guys so much. I have been thunderstruck and gobsmacked by your reactions. I'm truly blown away, and I recognize that this is once in a lifetime, once in a career, to have created and deliver something to you guys that has been just so enormously and overwhelmingly embraced and loved.
See,
and
Nick?
I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Come for you, Nick.
Thank you on behalf of Young Rock, the entire
Overwhelmingly embraced and loved. So what you're talking about does not reflect the views of your employer.
Yep.
I don't know which one of your. I know not Zito.
Not mine.
It's amazing he stays so humble, The Rock.
Well, you see him, he has his hands crossed.
Yeah, he's very humble. I mean,
Respect.
everything he's done
That
to stay
candy ass
humble
better
like
shut his
that.
mouth back there.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I would rather be smacked in the mouth by The Rock than be forced to watch more episodes.
No, you're
of The
wrong.
Rock.
Shut your mouth.
I'm going to give it a try, but after watching that video, is The Rock a goober?
What?
What?
Is he a clown?
Don't even start.
What?
Did you
Don't even.
Can we get some genuinity?
His mic.
Stop.
Smack him in the mouth.
This show cannot become that. Okay, that's not what this show. What you just said.
Have
is
some
that.
respect, dude.
I hadn't seen that video.
make that one
So what are you saying? You're
But
saying.
from seeing that video.
Oh, you're saying like, this guy,
I mean-
self-serving. You just said
No, not self-serving, but give me
Sure
a massive
sounded like-
stack of pancakes and let me get a real thank you. Like, hey, this cheat day's for you guys, not.
He's not in cheat day mode. He's filming Jumanji 4 and
Cheat
5.
days are on Sundays,
He alluded
dude.
to it last night in the show.
He killed Ludacris.
Ludacris gets tossed off a cliff. Jumanji 5. Hate to fucking break it to you.
Let's
Oh,
stick
so
with
he's,
Jumanji.
so he's using
Learned
his
that
show
last night, Young
to
Rock.
promote his other shows. Is what you're saying?
What are you talking about? That
Let's
was a
stick with
commercial last
Jumanji.
night.
Let's stick with Titan games. We don't need to shoehorn Kevin Hart jokes into the Young Rock series. We get it. You and Kevin are buddies, all right? Show me more Andre the
That was
Giant.
the first line.
Show me more Iron Sheik. Enough with the self-aggrandizing. Show me more Coach O. I want more Coach O.
We will.
The internet buried Coach O.
Yeah,
They buried it.
That's part of the show.
They buried Coach O. I mean, he made an appearance in there very quickly. I mean, he was in there. We got a meeting, okay, and then he went out and did his thing or whatever. I mean, it was.
I mean, spot on.
Holy
Looks
shit.
just like him.
Did they CGI him? That's what he looks like.
What was
By
he,
the way-
defensive line coach?
I'll tell you what, if Coach O had like a tucked-in polo and his gut didn't touch his shirt at all, you know, like that's like success, I think, for a lot of people. You see, like, I mean, obviously it's not attainable for a lot of us, but you tuck in your shirt and there's extra off the shirt. I'm assuming Coach O big football guy. Okay, I think we've seen him. I think we know him at this point. There was never a moment he tucked in his shirt and that thing hung over. Okay, me neither, Coach. I just want to let you know the actors playing football players, like the actors that were playing his teammates in that weight room.
Yeah,
that was another one where I was like, I don't know if the U's going to love how they're being represented. I don't know, because I think his teammates were some of the most like.
The prime.
Oh, yeah.
Like legendary.
Yeah.
He got some real nerds in there. I lift it. It was tough. But I liked it. I'm going to watch next week. Do not listen to what Nick said. As we heard from The Rock, it is overwhelmingly embraced and loved. The Rock told us that. I choose to believe it.
The wrestling stuff at the beginning was very good and interesting. I just don't think it's a fit for network TV. I think you could tell that story in a much better way without the constraints of being a network television show.
So I said that him taking the documentary and kind of putting it in a sitcom fashion, pretty interesting. Like I think it's has that happened before? A lot of people tell me like young
Sheldon.
Sheldon?
No, don't drag him in there. Don't you dare.
This is a first down. He was crushing on that Nickelodeon. By the way, Lex Lumpkin was a part of something for Daytona.
Ooh. Lex Lumpkin
he was
Daytona?
He was part of the promotional package about racing. It was Tom Rinaldi did an entire like emotional piece. Lex Lumpkin was in there sprinting. Yeah, I was pumped up.
How did I miss that?
He won the race, the running race. Then they got on a bike. He lost the bike race. So shout out to Lex Lumpkin getting a dub, and young Sheldon who crushed it on that Nickelodeon thing, explaining things. Has anybody ever done that before though? Chose to take their documentary and just make it a sitcom instead?
I don't know. Jordan was thinking about it before they did The Last Dance.
I mean,
I think Chris Rock.
Yeah, so that's what people tell me.
Yeah.
Chris
Rock
was
was
young
like-
Chris.
yeah.
Yeah, like that's the only thing. But
Is
that
that
was
the
like
same thing though?
But I think
not really.
that was just him growing up. Like
Yeah.
I don't think it went through like multiple different
And
stages
then Bill
of his
Burr.
life.
Bill
like
Burr
this
kind
one
of did
does.
it with F is
Family.
yeah.
F is for family or whatever.
That's the only times I've ever seen it. But like this is more like dead on.
This is like a documentary.
Yeah.
Like, sit down, interview, talk through, do the whole thing. You know, like I guess Eminem with 8 Mile. Like
Get
that's
Rich or Die
kind
Trying.
of that was kind of, but that was a movie though. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah, those are the more traditional like adaptations. Like you take based on a
Adaptation,
true
great.
story. Yeah.
Word.
Great word.
Only good thing you said all day.
Man, sir, he just said it's not a documentary. Okay, it's a rockumentary. Just by the way, that was probably used in the pitch deck.
Yeah, I'm sure. It
While
was.
that was being pitched to the NBC folks or whatever. Rock, everything it does is crushes. And by the way, the international crowd hasn't even got a chance to see it yet.
True.
So
Good
I did
point.
not know we were going to lead off the show for the first 24 minutes. We got to get to a break, by the way. No, we should probably just have Darren Waller on now. I did not know we were going to do this with Young Rock, okay, until you came in here and did this. I would like it to be known, though, in the office, the Young Rock conversation that took place before we got on air was pretty animated as well. This has been something that has come into our office and potentially divided the troops a little bit. Zito and I can't wait for next week's episode. Cannot wait. Nick, though, is trying to lead the revolution here. Like
I was so excited
You're
for
like,
that.
we need not support this, basically.
No.
Yeah. You did.
I will
That is
continue
kind
to
of-
hate watch until the series is
to give
eventually
him a
canceled.
rating because you are a fan.
You deserve to get rock bottom.
I love The Rock.
That doesn't sound like it. You actually hate everything he's about.
I love The Rock. I hate Young Rock.
You hate him.
Okay. There was a couple Young Rock moments last time where I was like, I would not want to be friends with
When he flashed the eyebrow getting up off that weight bench, I like that.
Hell yeah.
When Z pitched it too, he said it was a documentary. It was right
And it
after.
is.
It was right after the last ride.
rockumentary.
With the Undertaker. So we're
I
like,
haven't
we're
lied
getting
yet.
one of those.
Yeah.
Jordan.
With the,
Yeah, exactly.
Here we go. The Rock. This is gonna be awesome.
What
It's
did I
Young
say
Sheldon.
wrong? It is a doc.
Ty Schmidt's here. Zito, we've already heard from,
Hello.
obviously, in the back. Joining us now is a man who was a Pro Bowler this past season. 16 games, 1,196 yards, 9 tutters for this guy. Hell of a player. Tight end for the Oakland Raiders, and also a rapper, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
We did not hear the last song that you were potentially recording while you were on the show with us. I don't think we've heard that yet. Hope to hear from that. So, ladies and gentlemen, Darren Waller. Woo! What's going on, man?
What's up, y'all?
Hey, is that your logo up there on that hat?
That is my logo.
Ooh! Hey, that's a good logo right there.
Appreciate it, man.
We in the studio? We got any more songs coming out? What do we got popping off on the off season here?
Yeah, man. I'm recording pretty much every day right now.
Any
I have an
bangers?
album coming out in probably April. Just getting it mixed right now.
Have any bangers? Do we have any feel goods? Do we have any singles that we're going to put out? Do you already know about, or are we just kind of going to see what we make for the next month or so?
So as far as a single, I have a song that's coming out with my podcast. It's like a theme song for the Comeback Stories podcast that's supposed to be coming out. And then I'm going to release a single before the album drops as well. So you'll get 2 more songs before the album comes out.
Okay, the Comeback podcast, is that already out there? I should have already listened to this, it sounds like, or are you debuting soon?
We got 2 episodes out right now.
Let's go.
Third episode's coming out tomorrow, actually.
Oh, hell yeah.
So we're out on all platforms right now.
Congratulations, man. Not easy. Yeah. There's people that need project managers and stuff to do all that. The fact you're able to just kind of make it happen in the off season is unbelievable. Good for you. Did we have guests? What was the conversation? Did we talk about the season? Talk about the story? What do we got? First 2 episodes and what's coming out tomorrow?
So the first episode was my story. The second episode was my co-host Donnie, his comeback story.
Okay.
And then we got Tyron Matthew as a guest. We got Danica Patrick as a guest. We got Inky Johnson, George Mumford. We got a whole bunch of people coming, so it'll be a lot of stuff people can learn from.
Hey, congrats, Darren.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Good for you. Good for you, man. Hell of a season. Made the Pro Bowl. Now the conversation revolves around what's going to happen with the Raiders going forward. Team was so good, then kind of at the end didn't make the playoffs in a tough division for the long haul. What are you thinking football-wise for the offseason? How do you feel about everything going forward?
I'm excited. I feel like we can only get better from here. Continue to improve on offense. Continue to improve on defense everywhere, really. And just, let guys know that it's all about the small details going forward because we got the right intentions. We got young talent. We got guys that can, make stuff happen, but it's just about consistency from here going forward. That's separating us from where we want to be and those teams that whose shoes that we want to be in come January and February. So it's just continuing to develop, not settling for where we're at in any way.
Hey, knock on wood if you're with me.
Hell yeah.
Did you knock over there? Are you guys still doing that, by the way? Is that still happening?
Yeah, we still knocking. We still knocking.
I'd get caught. I would just be, and I think that's probably why he does it. If you're just going, oh shit, here we go. Here I come. Sorry, I missed you there for a second. But your team, whenever you say it's about the little things and moving forward, do you mean like a day-to-day process, like that type of thing? And do you think maybe if a veteran, do you need a little bit more vets in there who have been there, done that, or is that something you guys think you're learning as you go forward here and become a successful team?
Yeah, I think it's something that we got to keep learning. It comes down to just what we're doing at practice. What we're doing when nobody's watching, what we're doing at home when we're getting extra film work in. It's just those little things that, we got a lot of young guys and they got to continue to buy into, the part of the process that isn't sexy, that isn't, the fun or the glamorous part. And that's what's going to, when the lights come on, that's what's going to separate you. That's what's going to have people want to watch you play. So just kind of getting that into guys' heads and watching their performance take off from there.
Did you think Derek Carr's leg got ripped off on that Thursday night game whenever it seemed like his groin, or I don't know what happened to him, he ended up leaving and Marcus Mariota comes in? We automatically assumed from watching that was potential season ender. Then he's back 8 days later, I think, starting for your team. Did you think, is he just an incredibly tough dude? And did you think his leg potentially got ripped off in that moment? Did you not even see it?
So I feel like I played football with horse blinders on. I did not notice that he was even out of the game until
blinders.
My tight end coach was like, "Okay, Marcus is in, so we got to be ready for more this, and that." And I was like, "Marcus is in? Why is Marcus in?" And then they were like, "Yeah, Derek's growing." And I didn't even see the clip until the day after, or like 2 days later. And then I was like, "Oh, okay, like that. It looks scary."
I think Marcus gave you. I think you and Marcus had quite a connection, right?
Yeah, Marcus was throwing dimes for sure.
He's slinging that thing. Now the big conversation this offseason, what are you guys going to do at quarterback? Marcus Mariota owed $10 million, maybe $20 million if he becomes a starter. Derek Carr conversation still happening as well. From what you've seen from Marcus, and I'm not talking about for the Raiders, I'm talking about for a team that would trade for Marcus. Potentially that's the conversation right now. That's way above you. I'm not asking if you think they should be traded or not, but I'm talking from what you saw in practice with Marcus Mariota and around the building. Whenever he left Tennessee, nobody knew if he was going to succeed again or not. After what happened with Tannehill, that whole situation. Then he gets in that game, drops dimes. Behind the scenes, what was he like as a teammate, worker, and everything like that?
He was a great guy. I loved being around Marcus. He had great practice habits, was very competitive with the reps that he got in practice. And, just seeing him after practice, he would be working on throwing that deep ball that he threw to me, throwing it into the net like 30 minutes after practice and getting extra throws in with the quarterback coach and receivers, working on spot throws, and just the way that he worked and the attitude that he brought every day. Just staying involved, not allowing his mind to drift. I was very impressed by that.
When you see Gronk and Travis Kelce have these record-breaking type both careers and seasons, is that something where you'll reach out to them and work with them? Is the tight end like a community? Do you guys get together and like workshop and I would assume have a good time, run routes? This is how we're bigger, stronger, and faster than everybody. Do you guys do that in the off season?
If there's a tight end community, I haven't been invited yet.
What? No.
Nah, I don't know. I don't know if that exists. I know I've gotten Tony Gonzalez's information. I've talked to Travis Kelce after games, and been back and forth with George Kittle on Instagram a couple times. So those are guys that I know that if it came down to linking up or trying to get better, I feel like those would be guys that would help without question. But I feel like we do got to get a tight end summit going maybe one day.
Well, what about National Tight Ends Day? I mean, I got the shirt.
That's right.
Block, release, catch, spike, or something. Yeah. I forget what the shirt said. Did you get one of those shirts for National Tight End Day, or was that only for the tight end community?
They passed them out.
Okay, good. All right, that's nice. Good. I was getting worried. What if there's like a young old riff in the tight end division? That's not good. That's not. Do you watch any of their film or see anything that they do, or do you study Gonzalez's film or anything like what? Or do you just work on yourself, or do you kind of see what else you could potentially do from other guys, like toolbox or whatever?
No, yeah, I watch film with other guys all the time, especially like Mondays and Tuesdays after games. I'll watch tight ends one day. I got Kelce, Kittle. My boy Mark Andrews, and then like old tight ends like Antonio Gates, Jimmy Graham, Tony Gonzalez. And then I like watching big receivers as well, like Julio, AJ Brown, DK Metcalf, guys like that.
What is something that you've watched from that film that you've learned? Is it body position or anything? Like, what is something you've picked up? You're like, oh, I should try that, but in my own way.
So from Travis Kelce, I feel like with me, one of my main weapons is speed. But with watching Travis, I don't always have to win with speed. Like, he's really great with like using his head and eyes to sell, like he's going one way or the other, and his first move like after the catch. So it's like not necessarily the speed all the way through the route, but it's the speed at the top of the route and then like making that first move after the catch, so I can play at different speeds. I don't have to always go 100 miles per hour. So that's what I take from him. And then just guys like Julio and DK Metcalf, just seeing how they're big guys and how they come out of breaks so fast, like they're like slot receivers. So I just try to take their footwork and things from them and just keep adding it to my game.
That's what I did. I watched Shane Leckler's film and I was like, I'm gonna play at a different speed than Shane. You know what I mean? Shane's gonna hear that, by the way. He's go, fuck you. You ain't got no speed. What do you got, Connor?
Yeah, Darren, there seems to be a lot of really top-tier free agents this year. Will you try and recruit anybody to Vegas, or will you just let Gruden deal with that?
Or let Vegas do the recruiting itself?
Ooh.
I mean, I would get involved. I would not mind doing that at all. I feel like if it helps the team, then I would love to welcome those guys in. If they're expecting a wild night, they're not going to get that from me. They'll get maybe a meal, a cigar, and it'll be a pretty early night if they're hanging with me. But I'm all in to help his team get better.
I think everybody knows your story now about how sobriety and everything like that, unbelievable in Vegas with the amount of success you've had. You're going to be an inspiration to a lot of people without even realizing it. So I don't think anybody would be expecting you to take them out to the strip, but hey, get me in the stew, dude. Get me in the stew. Where do you record at?
Right here.
Yeah, there it is.
The mic right there.
What's that up there? What's that? Vision 2020. Okay, here we go. You got that's like your. Is that where you do the podcast, or is that just motivation for whenever you are making a song?
Oh yeah, that's just artwork on the wall. That's just motivation for the day. You know what I'm saying? We got the 4 agreements right here as well.
Okay,
we just got good information up on the walls.
Yeah, good vibes in there whenever you get going.
Yeah.
Oh, full album. Is that? How much work will that? Do you already have that finished? How long did that take for you to write? Will you be able to write another one, or is this all of your creative juices being put into one album here?
These songs probably span. Some of them are maybe almost 2 years old, but some of them were recorded a week ago. So I'm gonna have like 15 songs on there probably. And yeah, but I mean, I got
any features?
it's just
Any
comfy.
features? Any features on there?
No features that y'all recognize. These are guys that are from where I'm from, and I do have an artist from Vegas that's gonna be on there as well.
Smart. Who's that? A DJ? You got a DJ from Vegas out there? They're
Pauly D.
Pauly D. You got Pauly D on there?
Nah, no Pauly D, man.
You got Pauly D. You don't have Pauly D.
That's not the vibe.
Pauly D did not deserve that. All right, I just want to let you know, Darren. What is your rap name, by the way?
It's D Wall, but I think I'm just gonna go back to Darren Waller as my artist name.
That feels like the right move, by the way, because it's getting marketed by the NFL. You know what I mean? You should probably go ahead and utilize that marketing and just go ahead and do it. I'm excited for Darren Waller's album, by the way. What do you got, Ty?
Pat, Darren, Pat kind of touched on it earlier with like your story and everything. Obviously, things are a little bit different right now with COVID, but will you stay in Vegas in the off season, you think, or is it easier just to kind of get away and remove yourself from that?
So yeah, I'm in Vegas mostly. I'll be going back to Georgia a couple times in March and April for training back there, just because that's where I've always spent my off seasons and I always get better training there. So I'm gonna spend some time there, but I'll be in Vegas mostly.
You're from Georgia?
Yeah, I grew up in suburban Atlanta, like 30 minutes north of the city.
You got Bubba Sparks on the album?
Nah, Bubba Sparks ain't on the album. No Lil Jon and the East Side Boys.
No.
No Yin Yang Twins.
No. Let me listen. Let me whisper. Atlanta took over there for a while. Atlanta took over the music for a long time. Time. I mean, it came in and just took over Lil Jon's performed last year we saw him at the Super Bowl performance. Still. Lil Jon's still performing out there. Who are some of the artists that we don't know about that's going to be in there? Oh, wait, what was that dude's name from Virginia? King Kotz.
Yeah, King Kotz.
Hey, King Kotz might be looking for a feature. He's from Virginia, but he's kind of coming up in the game as well.
Word. I got an artist from where I'm from. His name is Brandon Isaiah. I think he's real dope. Great name as well. But I got one of my teammates on my song who I'm not going to reveal yet. I don't know if I have his permission to reveal that.
Derek Carr? What? Is Derek Carr?
Nah, not Derek Carr.
Marcus Mariota?
What? Gruden? No quarterbacks.
All right.
Josh Jacobs.
It's going to be someone that you would least expect. That's what I'm going to say.
Aguilar?
Mike Mayock?
Who's the punter? Who's the punter over there? AJ Cole? Adam Cole? Is that the punter? Who's your punter?
AJ Cole. That's a good guess, but it's not going to be him.
Hey, by the way, you get AJ Cole in the track. I will lose my mind. When are you recording the podcast? You're recording them just weekly, pre-recorded, and then letting them out? How's that whole thing? Are you doing that yourself, or are you doing it with a company? How have you gotten involved in this whole thing?
So we recorded like 10. We got like 10 in the tuck right now. We're going to be recording one this afternoon as well. But we've just been using an app called Squadcast on Google Chrome. Nice. And it just gets good audio. It's kind of like a Zoom room, basically. But I also went to Arizona last week where Donnie lives, and we knocked out like 5 episodes together just so we could flow in the same room. So it's been a dope process.
Any hobbies other than rapping and podcasting? Do you golf? Do you do anything like that?
I'm terrible at golf.
Me too.
I like playing some basketball every now and then. Reading. I'm a pretty simple guy.
You got a good jumper
Smoking
or no?
cigars.
You got a good jumper or no?
No. Not when I play like a year in between. My jumper's not very consistent.
So you'll go to LA Fitness and you'll just dunk on all the little white dudes running around?
Yeah, get every rebound, dunk on everyone, get the passing lanes, catch oops, Let's go.
Darren, we appreciate you stopping by, man. The Comeback, is that the name of the podcast?
It's called Comeback Stories.
Comeback Stories. You have 10 in the tank? We're just waiting to put them out, or is it once a week, twice a week?
Yeah, we're just going once a week right now.
All right. I'd like to binge through them, but I guess I'll just have to wait. You know what I mean? Did you watch Young Rock last night?
I don't know who Young Rock is.
All right. Oh, come on. Darren Waller. Darren. Hey, you're going to regret that, I think. You're going to regret that. You might have to have another comeback story about that one.
Yeah.
You don't know who Dewey Johnson is.
Come on. on.
Well, he probably knows who The Rock is. He just doesn't know, what this Mickey Mouse, the young Rock is.
Oh,
Dude.
how dare you?
You cannot. By the way, listen. I understand you did that one time. Oh, I got a pop out of it. We cannot be burying The Rock for the entire show today. You hear me?
I won't be. I'm just from what Nick says. I trust Nick's judgment on TV shows. From what he says, I believe him.
Most
you
honest
didn't
guy
even
around.
watch
I
it.
wouldn't lie.
Hell no.
Nick sent me a text immediately following the credits last night. What were your thoughts? He says to me.
Okay.
And I responded with, my thoughts.
Yeah, they're good.
Nick responds back, worst television show I've ever seen. Can't wait to talk about it tomorrow is what I said. We got in here. You just hated it, huh? You didn't like the story, the flow? What didn't you like about it?
Everything, man. It was just so cheesy and just so corny. It's like, come on, Rock. We know you could tell us a great story. Rip those chains off. Go to HBO and tell
You're
the
saying
uncensored
it's
story.
too corporate, you're saying.
It's too Mickey Mouse.
Is it for kids then?
Might as well be.
Yeah.
No.
Maybe it's for kids.
That's why Zeke likes it.
It's rated 14 and older.
Is it really?
Oh, yeah.
Is that because Waffles was in there? He's not in the next season, or next episode.
He might be.
Was that hilarious joke where Rock was asking for like a vodka tonic in it the first episode? Or
I,
no?
I think that's the
Yeah.
next episode.
Oh, okay.
No, it was not in
Nice.
this one. No.
I'll tune in for that.
Let's go.
He did say, though, that when he opens his fridge, which seemed to be an average size, relatable sized fridge, by the way,
Relatable, yeah.
he opens it and goes, "Can you tell that The Rock's hungry?" And
Oh,
then-
that's good.
yeah. And
that's
the camera,
good.
camera was in the fridge.
Okay, I'm in. I'm sold. You just told me.
Thank you.
Fine.
It's a good show, dude.
That was in the show, what you just said right there.
That was the show.
Say,
That was the
that
sell.
was in the show.
Look at you.
Yeah, that was the sell.
Yeah, you're laughing at it.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm not laughing. Yeah, it was a funny
It's a funny show.
It's a situational comedy. It's a sitcom.
You're laughing at
Yeah,
it, not with it.
No, this isn't a laugh at thing. I'm laughing with The Rock and Waffle and Andre the Giant
Rest in peace,
and Coach Orger. Okay?
You can fool the serious listeners, but the YouTubers, they know what you're doing right now.
What are you talking about?
Because they can see you.
Quit spinning it.
We got to get to a break. 43 minutes in here. I'm going on vacation after this show, but I will. AJ Hawk will be hosting from here tomorrow, by the way.
Really?
And then we're off Friday completely. I'll be calling in from an undisclosed location tomorrow for the first hour and a half, mostly because I booked a guest myself for tomorrow. And I forgot I probably wasn't going to be on the show. So now, since I booked said person myself, I kind of have to be here for it.
Sure.
But I'm excited to have the conversation.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Guess what it's about?
What?
Dayton. All right, we're back on the other side. This is an incredible beat. We'll take some phone calls. 1-888-MAD-DOG-6. So check in on the poll that we have out today. I think it's a good one. You got about 4 minutes. We'll see you on the other side.
Okay, it's been 25 years since I've done this. Let's see what happens. I'm scared. Shooter McGavin, this is for you. And I'm not lying to you, that is smashed. Smashed. And that went pretty well. You're dead, Shooter. Ha 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 ha.
Nice drive, Gilmore. 25 years, huh? Let's see if it's Shooter's Tour. Check it out. Oh, yeah. It's all about the short game. Drive for show, putt for the dough. Money. Shooter. Still got it. Well, thank you to all the fans, and thank you to you, Adam Sandler. And why don't you just meet me at the 9th green at 9, Gilmore? Little secret of the pros. Okay? Oh, and Gilmore, wear something nice. 25th anniversary, baby. Shooter out.
Last night I was roaming around Canal and Bourbon, and it was a lot of purple. And when you get that Mercedes-Benz Dome, and it starts getting loud and it gets rompous, obviously, not only for momentum and swings like that it can help, but for the defensive line to get a jump. I think that is a big deal. A lot of freak athletes on the field, and kickers are a spectacle no matter what happens. Whenever you're in those high-pressure moments, you normally fall back on your fundamentals. You normally fall back on your technique. You try to take your brain out of it. Cade York hits a beautiful ball. One person up in the parking garage. Warming up right now, there's just 3 dudes in suits breaking down every single move he makes during his warm-up. What a wild scene here for Trevor Lawrence.
Quarterback, number 9, Joe Burrow.
You're supposed to be some draft expert, and you say Joe Burrow was a 5th-round draft pick before this year. Now he's number 1 overall. What do you know? What do you know, Todd? Tim, you are so handsome, it's ridiculous. What do you think has been happening in this first quarter? Why has Joe Burrow been stumped by this Clemson defense?
I think Brent Venables is the best DC in the country, and it's honestly not a shock to me. He did this to Tua last year.
Odell Beckham just stopped by.
Odell's very excited.
Odell's happy with the 52-yard attempt coming from the kid from Clemson. I've seen Odell make this with a spinning ball. And BT Potter puts it through the 52 in Odell's. Not in your face. It wasn't in your face. It wasn't in your face. You weren't looking at it.
That's a career high for BT Potter.
Bro, imagine Joe Burrow just having to stand in there and know that Isaiah Simmons is scot-free right in your suckle. That's a bad call. No chance Alberto Riverrod would turn that over. He was in the Buccos organization?
Giving the old white guys something to complain about. It's the Pat McAfee Show.
Welcome back to the show. Well, then he's not putting it on himself for the show. He put it on the interviewer.
Oh, yeah. He said credit card fraud, that guy.
He said check fraud.
He did check fraud.
Welcome back. Talking about Young Rock still.
It's a good show.
Caused quite a stir. I mean, it is.
Tackled Nick during the break.
It feels like NBC and The Rock are teaming up for a campaign here. We're going to do this campaign for a little. We've learned our lessons from the past. We're going to do this campaign here for a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Young Rock.
So good.
Might become President Rock at some point.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's how the show ends.
I think that's what they're legitimately pushing for. And that's why me and Zito like that show so much, because we understand how detrimental it will be to our futures. Yeah. And Zito and I are that deep thinking, knowing that we want to learn about this man who's potentially going to be in charge of the nukes and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Footballs.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Bingo. You guys out there just want to live in your little bubbles, okay?
Yeah.
You want to not know what's going on? Fine, stooge.
Have fun in your bubbles, dude.
You don't want to know what the president was like whenever he was a 7-year-old with a crackhead in the back seat?
Go far your bubbles, dude, and rip it up with electricity like he used to. I don't hear Dwayne Johnson and his self-aggrandizing story about.
I will say,
I don't know what that means.
I would like to say you could put the context clues together if you were to listen back to it, Zito. I think you could know what that means. But it was very interesting. The first commercial of the show was him standing with a camera on him. Okay. And it looked like it was an extension of the show, almost like like it was going to take a break. Like, I hope you're enjoying. We are excited. Like it was a staged rock promo. I thought it was for Acorns, which is the investment app. It was a commercial, and I thought there was a chance that every commercial was going to be him just standing there, because he was clearly reading the script for the Acorns ad or whatever. I was like thinking to myself, like with The Rock, you know, he's he does that video. This is The Rock's promo now.
Yeah. Give me that laugh.
And then as soon as that camera goes to right here, it was like, oh, is every commercial just going to be The Rock standing there like, when I take a shit, I wipe my ass with, and it was going to be Charmin, yeah, toilet. And then the next one was going to be whatever.
Michelin
It
Man.
felt like that was potentially what it was going to be, but turns out there was just terrible commercials on as well, not just Rock commercials, which is a shame.
What do you think What do you think Dwayne Johnson as president? What do you think his State of the Union address would sound like if he did it as The Rock?
Oh my God, it'd be fucking awesome.
Yeah.
It would be awesome
Sweet.
if it was to happen. Just like last night, I think that's what Nick wanted, by the way. I think that's what we all want. All right. We understand that The Rock is the same person that gave us the "shut up, bitch."
Yeah,
that's right. That's right. The Rock, like whenever he was cutting wild promos for WWE, he was walking around halls, sawing people down, and then would continue to walk. Hey, how you doing? And a bang, bury, and then keep it moving. I think that's what Nick wanted. Nick, this is NBC primetime, pal.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, young Rock ain't gonna be walking around telling his teachers to go ahead and suck a piece of pie.
I want the jabroni beating, pie eating, eyebrow raising Rock. Come
Hell
on.
yeah!
That's right.
That Rock has been gone for a long, long time.
He has.
By the way.
Episode 2, he's coming back though.
By the way, this is what Nick did with Will Smith too. Just refused to ride the wave with the incredible human being. Whenever The Rock stopped, cutting promos strictly for Nick Moraldo's entertainment, he turned on The Rock. Will Smith, whenever he was no longer the Fresh Prince anymore, Nick's like, well, I don't like him. He's Fresh Prince. You just don't like these guys as they evolve and become these incredibly intriguing and relatable human beings.
What are you laughing? What are you laughing for?
Yeah. What do you mean
Because he's a
relatable?
stooge? Because he
Whoa.
sold out?
He's laughing at your takes.
Listen, you don't sell out, all right? You buy in.
Yeah, true.
Okay.
True.
Relatable how?
Who?
The Rock.
He had a small fridge.
Oh yeah.
All right, I saw the camera. I saw both sides. All right, if that was one of them refrigerators from Cribs back in the day, that camera, I don't care how fisheye lens you have for that thing, want to see both. He has a relatable fridge. Have a little respect.
Just because he worked hard to get to where he is doesn't make him a bad guy.
Bingo.
He did work hard, right? He didn't have any connections or anything growing up.
$7.
That's right.
$7 in his pocket,
That's
dude.
the whole thing, right?
$7 in his pocket.
That's right. Okay.
$7 was all he had.
It's not like Andre the Giant was visiting him at school or anything.
Hold on. The mustache with what you just said there, staring at me, was just maybe one of the most ridiculous moments of the show. And we are mailing it in, okay? I'm going on vacation literally in 2 hours, all right? So let's have a little
Gassing up the bird right now.
Bro, just such a... This is going to sound ridiculous, but this has come to many conversations that we've had here. I don't prepare anything going forward, so it's all just like, hey, what's next? Me booking a guest. Can't wait to talk to you.
On your first day of vacation.
Just unbelievable, just fucking unbelievable. Hey, can't wait to chat with you, it's going to be a blast. And then all of a sudden comes around showtime and the guy just gets a FaceTime from AJ or whatever, which, by the way, I'm sure he'd be pumped, but for me, I'm like, I kind of feel bad. I went out of my way to this person. Like, hey, will you come on, please? I would love to do this and this. Absolutely. When do you need me? Thursday would be great. Oh, yeah, I could definitely do that. And then I immediately, just until right now, by the way, realized that I got to fucking do that. I'm a fucking idiot, dude. I'm a stooge, and that's why I'll never have a young Pat show. So
it'll be good.
Why don't you have a little bit of respect for that, Nick?
Well, never say never.
Let's go to Matt in Alaska. What's going on, Matt?
Big Matt.
I did not have Andre the Giant coming into my school.
Oh.
I wish.
Tony Miola coming into your school.
I went and saw Tony Miola.
Scoring on him.
Went ahead and put a fucking heater past him, too. What's going on, Matt? Alaska?
Really did it.
Hey, Matt. It's me.
All right. What's going on?
All right, so how are you doing, Pat?
Not too shabby.
I got one for the boys. Z, Ty, and Foxy. Well, I'm a Vikings fan. I want to know what you think. Like, Goff, Kirk, and Rodgers are set. Assuming Wentz is going to be on the Bears, how does that?
Oh, you shut your mouth.
NFC North line up.
You would want to have Wentz on your team, by the way. So you are nowhere near in the same position that I'm in to say what I'm saying.
Wentz is an upgrade.
Our
for
team's
you.
unbelievable.
Our
team,
defense is very unbelievable as well.
They actually are pretty good, I guess.
tend to give up.
Yeah.
About midway point through the year.
Because the offense is so bad.
Yeah.
Matt, let's get to it, huh? Next time. Goff being the Lions quarterback, though, it's going to be nice to see how the Lions do. They're hiring quite a coaching staff. Yeah. Antoine Randall just got hired as the wide receiver. They might be a lot better. But as long as Aaron Rodgers is playing football, that NFC North is in trouble. Hour 2's on the other side. Got great conversations. You got about 6 minutes. Go take a shit.
Just checking your availability. If you're in Indianapolis now, did you get to Buffalo?
Yeah, I got a plane that's supposed to take me down to game day anyways, so I could definitely have it go to Buffalo first. How long is the flight from Indy to Buffalo? You can find us a plane for like 4 o'clock. I think that'll be perfect.
Best we can do is depart around 5:30.
Okay, do we have any other, can you find any other planes that can get us out of here earlier than that? I was just asked if I could appear in Buffalo within the next 4 hours to basically do the show on Fox tonight.
Okay, I'll call you back.
You know what I'm asking for?
Yeah.
All right, so he's going to call Jim Irsay and see if I can just use Jim's jet. He's calling me back shortly, but just start packing.
Hey.
You're the absolute best. Does this sound like a potential yes you're saying? He's the fucking best. I would be so thankful. Hey, this is really cool. I don't know how many billionaires would do this for people that have worked for them in the past. This is awesome, and I can't thank you guys enough. Can I take a kendo stick to his back?
We'll talk about it when you get here.
All right, I appreciate you, man. Hey, let's break the fucking internet tonight. What a hilarious life. We are live on Fox in 6 hours and 35 minutes. 3 hours of sleep, no clue what the storylines are. Just fucking let the nuts swing, bro. Let's just go out there and have a good time. Plane company. I know. Here we go, boys. All right, we'll talk SmackDown tonight. This is going to be a night we're going to look back on and remember. And then we're going to hop on a plane and head to Memphis for College Game Day. I think this is a joke too. I just want to let you know, like, this is a Truman Show. I very much understand that this is not supposed to happen. I got the text at 1:42 p.m. today from Mr. H that says, "Have you heard there have been some travel issues? Can you make your way to Buffalo?" Jim Irsay, owner of the Colts, literally lent me his plane. Might be the most confident I've ever been on in something. I didn't know we were that good of friends, to be honest. I was throwing a Hail Mary, and he responded and said, yeah. So I got here about an hour and a half before the show, and to work with Renee, Tom, and be on SmackDown with a bucket of makeup on my face. This has been a dream come true bucket list type situation here in beautiful Buffalo, New York. Come on, boys. We're going to be on cable.
Joined here by Pat McAfee, replacing our guest commentator Aiden English.
No sleeves in, George. Good to see you.
It feels good here in Buffalo. I got a text from the game, a cerebral WWE official. He said, hey, you might have heard about the travel issues. Can you make it to Buffalo? I said, absolutely. What a magical evening it is, November 1st, 2019. I mean, let's be honest. The Marine was a heathen. You know what I mean? I mean, he's a great actor. He was great on The Real World. He was great on all of that.
Oh.
Tegan, now that's how they do it in NXT, baby. Almost took me out holding another grown lady in the air.
November 1st, 2019, greatest SmackDown in the history of SmackDown.
Pat, you joining us? It might absolutely be correct the way things have gone here tonight.
SmackDown in the history of SmackDowns, November 1st, 2019. It's documented. I had a good time out there, man. I had no idea what was happening, so it was really just a natural reaction to everything. That was awesome, dude. That's a real bucket list thing. Game day bucket list. This is like complete bucket list. 2 in 1 week. Oh yeah. With a horseshoe shoved up my ass and a horseshoe owner lending us a plane. Are you kidding me, dude?
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back, hour 2 on this Wednesday, February 17th, 2021. With a first-time guest, I do believe will begin immediately following this beat drop. There it is. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now. I had to get it out. I had to write it down here. I had to have stats down.
Okay.
Two-time Super Bowl champ. 6-time Pro Bowler. 2-time All-Pro. NFL rushing yards leader and champion in 2013. He has currently 15,000 yards from scrimmage as an NFL vet. 12-year NFL veteran, ladies and gentlemen, out of the University of Pittsburgh, LaShawn McCoy. What's going on, dude?
What's up? Happy to be on, man. What's going on?
Hey, it is great to have you on. Am I allowed to call you Shady? Who all gets to call you Shady? Or is it LaShawn? How should we all take this conversation going forward?
There's no limit. I've been in the grocery store with old ladies calling me Shady. So, to kids, call me what you want to call me.
Okay, Shady, let's talk about it. You're a two-time Super Bowl champ.
Wait, real quick.
Yeah.
I see the West Virginia jersey in the back.
Yeah.
You know we got some beef.
Yeah. Man, you used to fucking come out and dominate too. Whenever you showed up in the Big East, it was the whole conversation. The first year you were playing there, I remember the team talking, that guy wants to fumble the ball. He's going to run like that. You punch the ball out of his fucking hands if he wants to run the ball like that. Then you had a great game. Then the next year he's like, he's still carrying the ball out there like that. Punch the ball out. Never could do it. And then you get into the NFL, everybody's like, he's going to have to change the way he carries the ball. That's going to happen. And here we are 12 years later, and people are like, if you're not Shady, carry the ball like this. You completely have changed the game, which is pretty awesome, this whole thing.
That's kind of cool because, like, when I was a rookie, the coaches would be on me, like, hey, protect the ball. And Andy Reid, he would, like, tell the coaches, like ease up, let them play. And he would tell me, hey, if you fumble, you got to change. If you don't, play your game. So
yeah, it's be who you can afford to be. That's literally the entire thing. And you became like an outlier, became the superstar. Your career, obviously, Andy Reid in Philly. Chip comes in. Whatever happens, that was like your hometown team, though, right? That Philadelphia, that was like kind of the team you wanted to play for all along.
Yeah, because I'm from Harrisburg. That's about an hour away. So that was like my hometown team. And then when I got there with Coach Reid, I mean, it was perfect. The offense, the players, we had like McNabb and Donovan. We had Westbrook and Vic. All them guys, so the team was nice. And then Chip came and he did what Chip did. We won't talk about it.
I heard you guys were getting piss tested every morning. Every morning I heard you guys had to pee into a cup to check that hydration.
Look, piss, right, for hydration. And this guy would he would try to track our sleep. So they have like these bands that we had to sleep in. We put it on at like 8 o'clock, you know what I'm saying? And then he would check, hey, he would come up to you. So you got 3 hours of sleep last night, 4 hours of sleep last night. Did you go out? You know what I mean? And then you got like the older guys, like 10-year vets, 9-year vets. The rookies were so scared. I'm like, Coach, you got to let the young dudes be young dudes. They come from college. They're 21 years old. They might want to step out. They don't have no kids. You know, let them have a good time.
So Chip joined the long list of college coaches that couldn't make it in the NFL because in college, you're a dictator. You control every minute of the player's life. You're the gatekeeper as well. Like, hey, if you don't want to do what we got to do, we can pull your scholarship. You're out of here. You want to make it to the NFL, you got to play by these rules. Then when you get to the NFL, it's like these are grown men here making more money than you, some guys. They've been around football long as well. They have football IQ. Yeah, you were making more money than him. But they're football IQ. And that is the interesting thing. I never got a chance to experience the college coach coming into the NFL. You did. It obviously did not go well. You end up in Buffalo, and everybody didn't know what was going to happen with you in Buffalo, and then you just turned it up even more. It's one of those things where your career has been so interesting to watch because 15,000 yards from scrimmage is Hall of Fame numbers, Shady. That's Hall of Fame type shit. Then you get these 2 rings at the end, and people that don't like you are going to say, well, he didn't gain a yard or anything, but your presence for the team obviously helps this whole thing out. When you look back at your career, I'm not saying you're done, but the incredible run it's been. How do you view it? What is your biggest takeaway from your career if you had to kind of put it into an explanation or a description?
I mean, it's been a great ride. As I sit down and I view my plans for the future, if I stay here, if I go to a different team, if I retire, I think it's a great run. I've been truly blessed. To get into the league, man, as a second rounder, they always said I was too small or I wasn't strong enough, and I did very, very well with the Eagles. Then I go to Buffalo. They talked about, well, he's not a bruiser, and this and that, would he fit there? And I did well there. And then these last 2 years, maybe not the numbers that I'm used to having, but the success part of winning. And I've always been like the guy, man. I've always been like the main key to a team, but I never won anything, and I'm so grateful and I'm blessed because I got a lot of numbers, like you said, but it was missing the wins, and I know a lot of great players who played this game that haven't won. So I look at I did all this hard work in the beginning and the middle of my career to get the great prize at the end. And I'm truly thankful for it, the opportunity and also just the championship and the experience.
Let's talk about the last 2 years. You go into the Chiefs. Obviously, I don't think any of us knew what was going to happen with that Chiefs team until I knew there was a lot. We all knew there was a lot of promise, obviously, a lot of weapons on that team. But until really that playoff run when the Chiefs, you guys decided just to turn it on and just start beating the shit out of people. If you were down 20, it didn't matter. You win a Super Bowl, obviously, over the Niners. Then you go to the Bucs. In the Bucs, it seems like is a much different. Are they similar? The vibes of the team, Andy Reid, BA, the whole squad, because loaded teams, a lot of talent on the teams, a lot of personalities, I'd assume, a lot of potential egos. Were they similar vibes? How was it if you had to compare the two?
So even comparing my time, I think in Kansas City, and also in Tampa. I mean, I go to Kansas City. I had to fight to become the starter. And then I got banged up, and then Darian Williams took off, and they rolled with him. And then getting here, I was going to be the number 2 guy, and then we signed Leonard Fournette, young guy that's has a bright future. So it kind of knocked me back again. And then you just look at the team, Kansas City, tons of talent, with great coaching, I think with Andy Reid and his staff. And the good thing about them type of teams, we're similar at, you check your ego at the door.
Yeah.
I think when you look at like just guys like Mike Evans is a super player, your Chris and AB and Gronk and and obviously Brady. And it's like if some of them guys don't play, we still have a good chance to win. You look at Kansas City, if Kelsey or Mahomes, there's games where Mahomes didn't play and we still won. And he's like, the main focal point of the offense and the team. And then over there, it's like you have to check your ego at the door because you got the Kelsey and you got the Cheetah, all the other players. So I think when you have a team like that, we feed off each other as far as let's just win. Okay, you got 200 yards this game, I have 10 yards, and then it might switch, We just want to win the game because everybody, I feel like with them teams, when I played on, it's like they want the legacy part. You know what I'm saying? We want to be remembered as one of the best teams to get a Super Bowl. And we have teams like that that's well coached with good leadership. It makes it easier. It really does.
Shady, I would assume that a lot of people who maybe didn't know you as a person, maybe a teammate of yours or a friend of yours, would have thought that it might have been difficult for you not to be the guy at a place. How did you embrace, because you talked about how you were normally being the focal point, but you didn't have, obviously, the Super Bowl or anything like that. How did you embrace becoming that OG almost, in the room, kind of like off the field helping? Because AQ, Shipley, good friend of ours, was down there with you. He was talking about how oh, Pat, this guy is awesome in the locker room, incredible talent, obviously, 15,000 yards, could still play if he has to. But he said what you added to the locker room into that thing was a big deal. Was that something you always were? Or did you have to embrace that role a little bit more as you saw maybe playing time go down a little bit for whatever reason?
I think Kansas City really helped me out because I came there, I had to earn my spot, right? And then once I was a starter, I felt like I did pretty good. I averaged over 4.7 to carry.
Is that good? Is that good? Is that good?
And we really didn't really throw the ball. I mean, we didn't run the ball really. And there's times where I might speak up hey man, let's run the ball. And Coach Reid look at me hey, this ain't the same thing that we used to do. Number 15 runs the show here. You know what I mean? So that was more a reality shock. He's right. And at the age I'm in, my 11th season, it was it's different. And then it's the guys I'm playing with, those are my boys. So like I might be upset that I'm not playing or as much as I was. You go from starting to not starting. But these guys, I'm still respected, and they look forward to getting some input to helping them out. And I want to win, so why not? And then I got here with the young guys we had with Rojo and then Leonard, guys with a lot of talent. Things that I've been there, I've done it. There's plays that they might have missed or didn't see. I've been in them shoes, so I could tell them about it, and they want to know. And then sometimes as players, especially guys that have like a good resume, you don't ever see how people view you until you get around them and they ask you so many questions. And it's like, why would I be a bitter, older vet not to help the young guys out? You know what I mean? That doesn't make sense. Where I'm from, they call that a hater, and I never want to be that. I always want to help the dudes out.
Well, that's an interesting thing because, like, and it's not anywhere near a similar situation, but warming up, kickers and punters always talk to the other kickers and punters, okay? So the other kickers and punters would always come talk to Adam Vinatieri, and I was just standing there, right? I was literally just fucking standing there. I was like, all right, I'm done with this fist bump. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Then as I got older, okay, a lot of the younger kickers and punters, they were coming to talk to me instead of Vinatieri, and I was like, oh, am I becoming, like, potentially... You know what I mean? Like the guy or whatever here, not that I'm ever going to surpass Vinatieri, but people that went through high school and college, and I was that's like you, 12 years in this thing. The name Shady McCoy is an OG name in the running back room. I bet you that felt pretty good whenever people were like, hey, Leonard Fournette probably said, man, I used to watch you whenever I was at LSU. I used to watch you whenever I was doing it. That has to feel pretty, now you probably feel old as shit, but it also has to feel like pretty good to kind of recognize and hear that.
I'll tell you what. The truth, God honest truth. When we play other teams, I always tell like the young dudes in the room, watch how many people come up to me, like in the warm-ups. I remember like Rojo was telling me how like he had highlights of me in high school to watch highlights because I used to do the same thing with other players. And they tell me in high school they used to play with me on the video game. McAfee, I remember when I met him, the first thing he said to me is like, yo, come into the league in college, I always look at your highlights. I mimic my game after you.
Man. Hey, that's awesome.
Like Gurley. I can name, Flair. Oh, sorry, my phone dropped.
Yeah, they don't set up their phones like you though. You know what I mean?
So that's a cool thing because I remember when I was a rookie, I remember watching. I remember preseason game. We played against Tom Brady. I'll tell him the story. Right, he runs across the field. I'm 20 years old. I came in the league really young. I'm like, yo, oh shit, this Tom Brady. and he didn't know me. He ran right past. And that was like a wake-up call. And I was telling myself, like, I want to be a player where when people warm up, where they come out, they say, oh, there's Shady McCoy. That was something that would drive me and motivate me.
12 years, a long time at running
and then when I tell Brady that, because Brady's he's a great dude. He's real loving. He's like, are you serious, bud? I feel terrible.
12 years ago, yeah, man, you fucked me over a little bit. You didn't even say hello, Tom. That's kind of fucked up. I accept your apology, but it's a little late in this entire thing. Playing with Tom, getting to learn about Tom. You just said he's a good guy. What did you learn about him maybe as a football player that you wish you could have potentially saw him whenever you were that 20-year-old guy? Was there anything that you kind of watched him do that you were like, that is something I should have or I wish I would have potentially had in my arsenal whenever I was preparing or whatever when you were younger, or any big takeaways from watching him work? Because you're a Hall of Famer in your fucking own self, by the way. Your numbers are Hall of Fame conversation. So I don't want it to sound like, hey, when you look at Tom, what is there anything?
Nah, but it's like that though. He's the only player. He's the only player that I've ever been around that when he speaks, when he talks, I believe him. He could tell me, Shady, go walk on that water, you won't drown. I'm like, okay. He has that type of thing about him, man. Like, and I think that the way he works, I wish when I was younger, I wish I worked as hard as he does. We just won a Super Bowl and he's back training, doing little things. The way he prepares, I watch how as we got closer to the championship game, just God, we have about 8, 9, maybe 10 players in the group chat, like all the skilled guys, all the guys that was active to play. And he's going to details, right, about every player we're going against. And he's like a voiceover. So it's a video playing. It's only him. He got the candles lit. He's like, this DB, he likes to press, he likes to hold, doesn't have good speed. He just, and everybody. And I'm like, yo, this guy is so dialed in. He's 43.
Yeah.
He's dialed in, yo. He can play another 5 years. Just because not only just the talent or the big arm and all that, it's just like he gets it. He gets it.
And his wife wasn't at his house for, 12 days or whatever.
Yeah.
He was literally in the living room there with his dog, just like, all right, let's put the film on. Who else needs to see this? Every fucking skill player. Let me go ahead and just this is what we're talking about here. Is that why you think everywhere he goes, he wins, is because of that extra leadership ability and that cerebral ability that he has? Because everybody talks about, hey, is he the most talented guy of all time? That's always the conversation happens. He
don't need to be.
You get Tom Brady in your building, everybody gets better, huh?
Listen, real talk. I played in Buffalo, and I would play this dude every year, twice a year. I say, yo, when Brady leaves the Patriots, they will not be as good. Everybody talks about this Belichick, and I respect Belichick, and that's
we all do.
He's a great coach.
We all do.
But let's come on, let's stop that. When he leave that team, they will not be the same. The guy is different. You feed off him, his energy, the regular season he was so serious, and then the playoffs. It was like the Terminator. He was even more serious. And then the championship week, he was even more serious. Like, even the coaches have to be on their A game because the dude demands so much respect. And when he's there, it's like the championship habits pick up. The championship DNA picks up. And I think when you have a guy like that, you have a chance to win. And I love, Belichick, but they're not the same team without 12 over there.
Yeah, you need to have that in the locker room for everybody else to buy in. The coach can only coach what he has, and in the locker room, if they buy in, you can coach a lot easier. And it's a lot easier for a locker room to buy in when your best player is the most bought into being a great football player, being a great pro all the time. But I think they needed each other. But we'll see how this thing is going forward. Are you a free agent this year? Are you a free agent right now? You're really going.
I am.
So while you're on while you're on that boat, you're standing on the boat doing whatever you got to do. Like it's Oakland back in the day, or the South Side back in the day. I don't know where you hung out at while you were at Pitt, or was it Station Square? That was back when Station Square was popping off.
So you know a little bit about that thing over there. I see where you're going with this.
Oh, hey. I've invested in some of those bars there in the off season in Pittsburgh. I've had a good time. But when you're on that boat, celebrating during that boat parade, which every player in the NFL that has ever played and is currently playing was watching on the internet with incredible FOMO. Like, oh my God, that looks like an incredible time down there. Lombardis are getting tossed. Karen trophy makers are getting pissed. I mean, there's cops escorting drunk boats down.
And imagine the stuff that they didn't see.
Okay, exactly. All right, the after too, there's probably some good times. But while you're doing that, I assume at some point a conversation had to happen with yourself or with whoever was around you about what goes on going forward. Like, I would assume while you're standing on top of that boat with your second straight Lombardi, you're like, man, this is a high. This is a hell of a moment here. What do I do going forward? Did that ever happen? Like, your future ever get thought about during that boat parade, or is that for the day after when you're incredibly hungover as an old ass man now?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'll talk to my agent about it. And I don't think about it much. Like, even last year, I was thinking about calling it quits. I got some good numbers. I got Super Bowl. I got a family. I'm like top 3, top 4 in contracts, running backs. I'm good. And then I think about just winning the Super Bowl, that run, how it felt. And then as I contemplated retiring, the Bucs kind of called. Because I had other teams call. I'm like, I don't want to play for them. I can't go from Super Bowl to that. And then the Bucs call. I'm like, hold up. Let's think about this. Right? And then I made the decision. So even now, I talked to BA a little bit. I'll probably reach out to him. He told me to take some time and figure out what I wanted to do. And then it depends, man. It depends what the teams are. I've had some guys come at me that's like, because some players may play just for stats or money. I don't want to do that. I want to be a chance to compete and win. Because when you touch that high like that, you don't want to touch nothing else. So but if the opportunity presents itself, I would sure take it. But if not, I might join you in your show, man.
Hey,
here we go.
McCoy Mondays would be fantastic, dude. That would be absolutely fantastic. Where do you live? Where do you retire? You in Florida? Where?
Well, I still got my place in Philly, and then I got a spot in Miami. So I don't have no home. I was thinking about when I retired, built that one house.
Yeah.
Where I just sit at home all day.
Yeah. Golf simulator in there, good bar, good the whole thing.
Gotta have a good bar.
Gotta have a good setup. You know what I mean?
And I just my players, my young guys, they had me smoking cigars. I smoked my first cigar in 32 years.
You're going to start doing that a lot, I think. I think that's kind of how that goes. I think you do it.
I liked it, though. I never smoked before, so I liked that, though. It wasn't bad.
Never smoked anything or cigars?
I never smoked anything.
How's that happen? How does that happen, Shady? How do we sneak through life doing that?
Maybe because all my friends that smoke little weed, they would be like stuck all day and laughing about that.
That's the show, by the way. If you're going to join this show, I think you're going to be with a bunch of people that are stuck all the time. It seems like that. We do that. So we do that 3 hours a day, every day, Shady. What do you got, Connor?
Yeah, LaShawn, we didn't hear much from the running back boat aside from Lombardi Lenny's tweets. Did anybody drop a phone? Did anything good happen? Did you guys get to Lombardi, or was it just partying all day?
And whose boat was it?
Everybody had boats. And then I learned when you win, you get everything for free. So people was just getting their boats. Hey, get on our boat. You can take it for the whole 5 hours. So we were, everybody was having a good time, drinking. I'm sure guys lost their phones. JPP and Lenny, they go at it. I know they seen the tweets. They go at it all day with jokes, So, but it was a blast, yo. It really was.
What was it compares to the Kansas City one now? Two very different situations. The Kansas City one had a high-speed chase with actual cops and actual criminals to start that whole thing off. And then it seemed like the bus with the city came out in Kansas City because loyal fan base. Those seemed like two very different operations there. The boat party seemed like you guys were with yourselves mostly. The city one felt like it was the entire city. Did I get a misread on that or no?
No, you're actually right. You're correct. I think due to COVID, they kind of wanted to separate the players, the families from like the people, the public, were switched over because we wasn't in COVID protocol over there. But also, I think the players are different. Apparent. Like, even though that the guys in Kansas City are younger, the guys over here, like I don't know, the older guys, they kind of party more. It's weird to explain. And then Andy Reid is like, because him and B are really similar, but Andy Reid is more like
hamburger.
Yeah, like him, like for example, Tammy, his wife, who's excellent, he'll get a burger and hang out with her. That's a great time for him. Where BA, BA might crack him back, take a shot or two,
BA was on.
He'll have his Kango to the side.
his mask down here. Cutting a promo into the mic. Yeah. BA is awesome.
He might pull up in a drop-top Mercedes, so it's different. Driving himself. Andy Reid might have a drop, so it's a little different.
Yeah, BA, the first time he came on our show, in the middle of it, we heard a drink being made, and it sounded like he was actually making the drink into the microphone. And I think what happened was he put the phone down and he was pouring it next to it. And I go, BA, what the hell's going on over there? He goes, oh, just my vitamins. And he shook it or whatever, and he did an entire thing. He is legendary human being. I'm happy he got a Super Bowl as a head coach, by the way. That was a big moment. When they were showing the clips of him celebrating with all his coaching staff that he's been around since the 80s in Temple or whatever, and that's his first one as a head coach. I mean, what a moment. I love that. I don't think I've ever met somebody that played for a team that Bruce Arians coached that didn't love Bruce Arians, by the way.
Nah, I love BA. And he's real. Like, he'll mother F you and then hug you 2 minutes later. I'm like, this guy he's a real guy. He's a real dude. He's actually from my hometown. I'm from Harrisburg. He's from York. That's probably like 30 minutes or so. And everything I heard about him before I even met him was all good things. He's a hell of a coach, man. He's smart. He's very intelligent. And he'll have a good time. So that's a great mixture.
Yeah, those are the good people to hang out with. Ty, what do you have?
Speaking of former coaches, LaShawn, I'm curious, what was your relationship with Rex Ryan like? Because it seemed like when you went to the Bills,
Rex.
Yeah, it seemed like, I don't know, like the media kind of was setting it up that you guys would butt heads and wouldn't get along.
Oh, I didn't see that. Man, Rex was excellent.
Ty, you trying to stir some shit right now?
No.
I mean,
I've only had one coach.
It was like 7 years ago.
I
remember seeing
and that was weird. But other than that, man, Rex was perfect. We had a great relationship. Rex is the type of coach where we'll have a hard practice, right? And then, the players go in the hot tub, and you'll see Rex in the hot tub right with you. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Shady, how's it going? So, man, Rex had a great relationship. We still text here and there. I think Rex is a great coach if he has like a group of guys that's veterans, that's older, because he gives players their space. I love Rex.
How about
him and his brother?
We've had them both on Electric. I mean, I've been around Rex.
Right?
Electric. I mean, just all day, every day. We're talking to.
I had a thing with his brother one time. He's with the Saints, and we're playing Dallas. I was with the Eagles, and I'm looking across the field. It's like the national anthem. I'm looking across the field, and I see like the coach like giving me the finger, like, and they're pointing at me. I'm like, so I'm looking around like me. He like, yeah, you. So when I see him, I say, yo, what was that about? He said, hey, I was fired up.
It's funny because what if you were a guy who that national anthem moment, you were like a prayer guy, you know, like what if you were like a guy, because there are those guys that are like that moment is like a super, I cry, you know, you've seen guys potentially cry or have those moments.
They cry, right.
Yeah, there's some people that are pretty loose during the national anthem, judging the singer. There's many different ways to do the national. Yeah, there's many different ways to do the national anthem. The fact that Rob Ryan is just standing right across, like, hey, fuck you. That's maybe my favorite thing I've heard about the national anthem thus far.
I mean, it was kind of like going off. You know what I'm saying? So it's going off. Everybody's walking around. He just staring at me like, give me the finger, like you. I'm like, who's this guy talking to? So, but if you know him, that sounds just like if you know him.
How'd you do? Did you do pretty good that game? Or
I always did good against Dallas. I did good against them.
Hey, you're the Eagles. You're probably childhood team or whatever. Place is on fire right now, dude. That place is on fire over there right now. It's on fire.
And it was just good, 2-3 years ago? It was just like lit. It was just the place to be.
Statues were getting built. People were eating horse shit during parades. That was just a couple years ago. Now everything is just on fire over there. There's a couple organizations. You've been around now, and you're OG here. There's a couple organizations, and I don't think I fully realized it until I got into this role where I have to follow every bullshit rumor that happens from every single team. There's some organizations that you just know, like, okay, this team ain't going to do it. And then there's some organizations where you're like, this team has a chance to go. It's 32 teams. The NFL has the greatest parity in the world, but it seems like there are some real separating factors between the organizations that go and the organizations that don't at all. And now that you've been around a little bit, what do you think is the big thing for an organization to have success? Like, what is the X factor you think that some places don't have, aside from good decision-making contract-wise? Yeah. Aside from that, what do you think it is?
I think that's a lot to do with it too. But I think that if everybody is on the same page, I think they give themselves a great shot. I mean, if you think of the go, mama, go sit down.
What's that, dog?
Yeah, my baby.
What type of dog? What type of dog? What type of dog?
She's a Rottweiler.
Ooh, how old?
My baby. She just turned 2 like last month.
Oh, you're gonna have the terrible twos. Look out for the couches. All right, I'm sorry.
But no, like I think that just so if the GM and the president and the head coach and the owner, if they're on the same page, right, I think you give yourself a great chance to win. When the GM has something else on his mind or a different agenda than the head coach. Now the head coach is not sure if he's going to have a job. And then he's complaining to the owner. And then all that, it's like, it gets so messy. And then now it's like everybody's worried about their job. Or I want this player, but he don't want this player. When you work together, because every place I've been at that has worked good, they all work together.
Yeah, I think so too. And you kind of don't know what's happening behind the scenes, but then as you watch the team, it's like, oh, this is obviously a dysfunctional operation over here. I can't wait to see what you get into, Shady. I appreciate you so much, man. Good luck with your decision for the future, and congrats on a hell of a career thus far.
Hey, thank you so much, guys. I will say this. This is one of the best shows I've been on in about 13 years. Real talk.
Come on. That's more than a decade. What show was 13 years ago that fucking beat our show, though? I would ladies and gentlemen, Shady. Hey, thanks, man.
Josh, I'll take it easy.
Hey, you too. Good dude.
Yeah.
First time he's ever been on. Great conversation. Man, when he came to Pitt and we had to play against him, it was just next. Oh, okay. So Pitt got a guy all of a sudden, you know, because we had Steve, we had Pat, we had guys. Then Pitt all of a sudden has a guy. Yeah. Then Rutgers at the time, by the way, had Ray Rice. There was just like a lot of guys that were in the Big East all of a sudden. Watching his highlights from college was fucking awesome. I mean, he would run with that ball, like just carefree, out like this completely. I mean, it's been like that his entire career too. I mean, it's just like, it does not matter. And I remember the first time we played him, every coach was just like, we're going to get 5 turnovers. We're going to get 5 turnovers. Punch the ball. Fucking he carries it. He wants to do that. That's on him. That's on him. And then he has like 3 touchdowns. Probably. The whole thing. By the way, no fumbles or whatever. Then it would get really cold, and he'd be still. It's too cold for him to be running like that. Ball's going to stay, and he would just no. And then they finally got to a point. I think it was maybe 2 years or 3 years into his NFL career where everybody was like, all right, we got to find a new fucking drum to beat. This guy ain't going to fumble the ball. But you will, young running back. Don't you even think about it. He's a stud.
Have you ever seen a Rob Ryan do that on the sideline like that?
That's
like
so
another
awesome.
person?
Him getting
so awesome. Because the national anthem, it wasn't always every game. And I think this has come to light now with the entire national anthem controversy that has popped off with everything involving politics and everybody getting involved in the whole thing. It wasn't always every game. It didn't. When I was in the league, it changed into that. So it used to be just big games. Like if a national anthem was happening, it was like, oh, this is a big fucking game. You know what I mean? Then it became every single game. And it was interesting to kind of, a new guy comes to the team. It's like, I'm excited to kind of see how this guy does that. I was it was just like a...
Loose during the national anthem.
It's like, I do not need to get... Like, I understand this is a very serious moment. And I was always dap up the military and everything like that when they came out with the flag or whatever. But I was always just like, I need to be as loose as possible. This is a very serious moment. And you look over to your left and there's somebody just with like tears coming down their face and they're like praying. And as soon as things done, they punch themselves in the face. I'm like, man, we are playing the same sport. But we are very, very, very different, because everybody treats games differently. There's some people that puke before games. There's people that literally like punch themselves. I've seen people do that and everything. And then there's some people that are just like literally cutting jokes the minute the ball is being kicked off. It's just 2 different ways to kind of go about things. The thought of me, I wish I was there just standing next to, Shady or whatever, being his teammate and then going.
He's saying, fuck you.
You see that?
That's not to me. I don't. And then what if I was like next to him, I go like this and Rob's like, I'll tell him, hey, he's got a, that is awesome. Because Rob, by the way, all he did was watch film on Shady all week.
Oh, yeah.
Then he was like, we're going to get this motherfucker. We're going to get him, and so all morning he was like, if we stop Shady, we stop it. Like, we got to fuck you, man. Like, that's awesome, dude. I couldn't get up that much, obviously. Now, if I had to run my face into somebody, I'm intrigued to see what type of player I would have been if I had to do that. AJ, by the way, we talked to a guy who has the most tackles in one of the greatest franchises history, and I assume he was a pretty loose before the game guy. I would assume he is not sweating, puking, flipping people off, other than his own teammates and refs at all.
He might have been crying during the national anthem, though.
You never know.
I'll tell you what, dude. When the kneeling started, that was a game changer for the entire national anthem, obviously. Yeah. That was my last year, I think, in the league, I think it was my last year. Might have been the last 2 years. No, it was the last year for sure. That was a game changer, because I was somebody that did spectate how people did the national anthem, because it was this moment where we had just, warmed up. You go in the locker room, you get everybody like is ready for a game, run out of the tunnel like everybody's jacked up, and then you have to sit there for however long it is in complete silence. It's like, I'd like to psychologically see how people who are about to go to war, basically, hand-to-hand combat, how they handle this. And it was interesting to watch everybody. Then when the kneeling started, it was very interesting to see the people that were conflicted with what they were supposed to do. By the way, potentially changes their routine now at this point. So it was all the national anthem, I understand it has been called into question a lot lately because of the politics and everything that has happened. But I don't think you were paying attention close enough for long enough. There was real drama happening during that national anthem. All over the crying is like they would zoom in on a couple players that would do it on national TV, and it would hit the internet. It's like I've seen like numerous dudes cry who are like maybe number 47, 48 on the roster, who are just like, oh my God, I'm so happy to be here. My paycheck just tenfold over this week, and then they're cut the next week. It's just it's a pretty cool little thing. It's a pretty cool thing. Let's get to a break, shall we? What's that?
Manning or Luck ever do anything during the anthem, or they just
I was never around them.
Oh, okay.
Because you also do see the people who
We get next to Peyton here.
they find the head coach.
AQ. AQ.
AQ was in between Tom and Crump.
Looking at the camera.
So
out of the corner of his eye.
I'm sure AQ will say that's where I always stand. That's what. Look at the footage. That's where I always stand. Is what he'll say. But there are people. I'm not saying AQ, by the way.
I know.
Because that does not feel like an AQ thing to do, by the way, at all.
Good move, though.
But now that he's a coach, when he was a player, I didn't stand near him either. I always like stood down on the defensive side, way down at the end or whatever. But there are people that you see, like, you know, they're the first ones out to give celebrations too.
Here we go, Tom.
I'm not gonna talk about it. I saw a guy get buried once.
Oh, no.
Really? Coming out for the celebration, somebody stopping on the field, looking at them, and then walking around them and celebrating with somebody else.
Yikes!
I was jogging out to do the extra point, and I was like, that guy just got murdered. Let's get a body bag. Can we get a body bag on the 27-yard line? Let's get to a break. Phone calls on the other side. Big shout out to Shady. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, Shady. We'll be back on the other side. This is the Pat McAfee Show. Why is football the greatest sport on earth? And do you think football is the greatest sport on earth? And why do you like football?
That's a really deep question there, Pat.
I know. I think I can get a good answer out of you, though. Like, I think you'd be able to talk about it in a way that I think a lot of people haven't, because you've been at the pinnacle of it for so damn long and inside of it, and your brain is a pretty fantastic one. We've learned here over the last few weeks, obviously. Last few weeks, that's it. That's all the time we've learned that.
I think it's the greatest sport in the world for one main reason. It is a true team sport where it is damn near impossible for one person to dominate an entire game. If you look at other team sports, basketball with 5 guys on the court, I think you've seen multiple players over the years. Maybe one player, maybe 1 or 2 players on a squad be able to dominate and win championships. Baseball, you can have a dominant pitcher and win championships. Soccer, you can have a dominant forward and or goalie. That seems to be a little more of a team sport, but you don't have 11 players engaged at the same time on every play. It is truly a sport reliant on every player on the field to do their job in order to be successful. And I think that's why at times, you know, certain star players can get maybe too much credit and maybe too much blame on the flip side, because it does take so many players at the same time in 3 phases to win football games. And I think that's the beauty and the draw of our sport, is that something new happens all the time, because you are literally dealing with 11 humans on the field at one time who all have lives outside of football, and there's distractions, there's a reliance on coaching, there's a reliance on preparation, there's a reliance on diet and performance. I just think there's so many facets to it that you see something new every single week, and I think that's the beauty in our game. When it comes to the love that I have for it, it's rooted, and I think like any player who's played for a long time, the love is not just about our sport, it's about competition. And I think there's nothing in the world for me that fills that need and that hole I have like competition. I think players who play for a long time at a high level, you have that need to be satiated competitively, and it's a love of going out there and going against guys and being in an environment where you know that nothing is guaranteed. And that's why at times I've taken umbrage to people saying that it's easy, because it's not easy. It's never easy. And I think that's the beauty in our game, is that you see things new every single week. It's never easy. And your only thing you're guaranteed is the ability to compete. I love that aspect of it. I love competing. I love going out there and harnessing the fear of failure, where I think so many people who maybe don't love football as much, the root of that is a deep fear of failure, that you might go out there and your best might not be good enough, and that's not okay with you.
It sound right, boys.
Give us a call at 888-MAD-DOG-6. Pat wants to hear from you. No, not really. He just ran out of things to talk about. This is the Pat McAfee Show.
Bingo, lady. Sex is cool, but have you ever tried built-in underwear, huh?
Ooh,
What?
the best.
Everyone knows Bird Dogs has shorts, but now they make pants. They stole Lululemon's designer, and now they're just doing it better. Bird Dogs are pants, but they have the underwear already built in. They look exactly like your best pair of pants, but they feel like silky, soft pajamas. There are work pants, golf pants, show pants, happy hour pants, sleep pants, workout pants, all-terrain pants because they're so damn comfortable and look good. You can take them to a corporate business stooge meeting if you'd like to, or you can even go in and have a blast in a weight room if you'd like to.
Wow.
If you're Dewey Johnson.
Rage.
Yeah, Young Rock probably could be president someday if he would have worn Bird Dog shorts and pants with the underwear already built in, because his life would have been so much better. It wouldn't have had to get to the point where he had $7 in his pocket at a diner with good old JR and became a superstar and took over the world and became what he is. Because the Bird Dog's pants makes you feel so damn good. And whenever you feel good, guess what you're doing? You're making your best decisions. You're living your best life. You're having the greatest time. And that's why Bird Dogs is a real life transformer. Ain't that right, Tom?
Yeah, well said.
And when you go to birddogs.com and enter promo code PAT, they'll throw in a free pair of nunchucks.
What?
Yep. They'll get a free pair of nunchucks with every order of Bird Dogs. That's birddogs.com, promo code PAT. Boom, a free pair of nunchucks with your pair of Bird Dogs. You will not take these things off. We promise you that. And the nunchucks are legit.
Yeah, very legit.
If you're listening, hear that? Whoa. That's the metal chain in between the chucks. Mm-hmm. And you want none of it.
No, sir.
How did nunchucks get their names, by the way? And I would have called it numb chucks all the way up until today years old when I read that ad the first time.
I don't know where nunchucks comes from.
Some guy's name, maybe?
You think a guy was like...
the best man with him.
He was none. And they'll look at the... Oh, you think his last name was actually Mr.
Mr. Nunchucks.
Nunchuck.
Yeah.
Because it's only one.
And he probably invented it.
True.
So
apparently the Japanese word for it is nunchaku. So I guess nunchuck is just the Western. It's the Western name.
Sounds like Bailey might know about this.
What's that? What are you saying now?
Pokemon name.
Oh, okay. Okay. But, you know, what we did to that name was exactly what we did to Deutschland, too, which is my favorite in the history. Where are you from? Deutschland. Nah, Germany. Get the fuck out. That's awesome. Everywhere calls them Deutschland, by the way, except for us. It's Germany.
You beat their ass in a war. You can kind of do that if you'd like.
A couple times.
Yeah, a couple times.
Couple times.
Back to back.
By the way, Germany is a very nice place.
Beautiful country.
I've been there a few times. Played soccer over there. Did a couple trips over there. They are nice. It feels like they all feel terrible about what had happened was. That all the people that talk to me, at least.
Well, they have certainly paid for it.
Yeah. Yes, they have.
A lot of reparations.
They have certainly.
Yeah.
And by the way, noted, by the way.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
you know what I mean?
Why do they go warm beer over there?
What's that? It's room temperature. It's not warm.
That's in England, too. See?
It's a Europe thing.
It's just Europe?
Yeah, it's not like they put it in the microwave and heat it up. Like, you know what I mean? But people do think what you think. It's just room temperature. And by the way, their beer over there is delicious. I try to drink their beer over here in America, though. Hate it. Can't do it. Get it out of here. But I'm over there. I feel like, oh, you guys made this in the back? Oh, this is like an IPA. Oh, this is cool. I'm doing the whole thing. The Benny I'm at the Hofbrauhaus, you know what I mean? I'm having a good time over there. I'm slamming these big ass, what are those called?
Pints?
Beer steins.
No, beer steins where you have to lift the thing. You're doing the thing. You're having pretzels with everything. You're doing the thing.
Ooh.
It's a blast. Then I get back here to America, and I'm like a week later, I'm like, oh, you should see what I did over in Germany. We had this beer. And I get the beer, and I try it, and everybody's like, this beer stinks. I'm like... I think it's the environment.
Yeah, different in Steel
it's
City.
the environment you gotta have.
Do they have Das Boot over there?
Oh, yeah. Das Boot.
I like Das Boot.
You know, that became a thing, obviously, because that Beer Olympics movie or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think that is a real judge of anything. You know what I mean?
It's the tilt. Yeah, tilt.
What about
you gotta spin it. I get it I've not been, but I want to go. I've seen the parking lot that it takes place in, though. It is massive over there. And I've heard it is an absolute blast. It's actually in November, right? I believe Oktoberfest is in November or September. It's one or the other. It's actually not in.
Yeah, they do it to mess with the tourists, to mess them up.
You got those cool outfits, too?
Yeah, the
Lederhosen.
I got it. Tim McAfee got me, or my mom got me a pair or whatever. Yeah, because I was telling her a Hofbrauhaus story about how I was. They enjoyed the erasing of beer.
The show.
I always knew Oktoberfest was a good time, but I think last year was when we really found out how good of a time it was. I don't think most Americans knew what actually goes on.
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
Oh, just babes dumping them out and dudes doing lines off each other's dongs.
What's that?
Oh yeah, there's that video
that did come out.
That was
Call 'em out.
videos. So social media has potentially exposed Oktoberfest for what it is.
Yes.
Naked dudes sliding across tables and across the floors and
Getting
stuff.
splinters.
I
on
will
there,
say
you know
that did not happen when I was over there at the Hofbrauhaus, but you did get a vibe that could happen at any moment.
Sure.
You know, as you were standing on the things and there was like a band up there with the.
I think that's the
accordion.
zone you want to be in, where like, okay, this could at any moment turn into something, but let's keep it.
Let's not actually get to that point. I was in a rave in Germany too one time. That was pretty cool. I came back to it. I was in the basement. I was like, oh my god.
Euro trip.
A lot of white t-shirts, just plain white t-shirts, very sweaty.
Up in my white
with
tee.
a lot of one of these, a lot of that. And I came back. I was like, oh my. Who'd I get in here with? And then I turned around, and the person I was with was at the bar. And I was like, oh, I'm not alone. Okay. Jesus, I thought I was potentially in big trouble. You know what I mean? So I go over, and I'm like, where are we? They're like, oh, we're in the basement of blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I don't know where that is. I guess I'll just enjoy it. I'm happy I'm not going to die here. I had already made friends. It was awesome. We were there till like 4:35 a.m. at that point. And then he kind of stumbled out, and there's this block in Munich. The Hofbrauhaus is there. Up the street is where Bayern München plays. And I was there the night that they beat Manchester United, I believe, in some sort of, I don't know what it would have.
Champions League.
Probably Champions League or whatever. So that party I just ended up being a part of that happened there. I mean, it was. So maybe I experienced Germany in a different fashion than most people. I happened to be there in like the greatest night of this particular city. It was a blast, though. Tiny little streets.
Yeah.
All those European towns. Tiny little streets because they're so old, and the way they've had to adjust by the way they just basically take cars and crush them, and now we're starting to bring them over here because we want to save the earth.
Fiats, the Volkswagens.
Yeah, but it's like all their cars are just basically like. Japan, same thing. I saw a minivan that was basically put down. Like Anthony Costanzo could have picked up this car. It was
September 18th this year.
You should travel, by the way. It's in September. All right. Yeah, you should travel, though. It's nice to learn about places. I'm not saying right now, because it's protocol. You don't know where you're going to snort Uncle COVID at or whatever. Sure. But when the world opens back up, I think traveling is a big thing for a lot of people that they should do more of. Now, granted, it's very expensive. It's not as easy. So I'm speaking from a place that is pretty ignorant probably for a lot of people. But if you get a chance to travel, you should get a chance to see how other people live. I think you appreciate a lot of things a lot more whenever you start realizing how some things are everywhere else. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Germany, pretty good, too. Everything you buy is like a 25% sales tax on it. Everything.
Jeez.
It's awesome. They're just raking.
New Hampshire wouldn't like that.
Well, live free or die, dude. Let's go to TJ in Seattle. What's going on, TJ?
How's it going, Pat and the boys?
Hey, not too shabby. I'd like to travel up to Seattle one time. That seems like a different country over there as well. What do you got going on, pal?
Dude, it's great over here. You definitely should.
I've heard it's a good time.
I was just going to talk about Seattle, the Seahawks, and Russell Wilson, actually.
Okay, what do you got?
There's been some misconstrues on the show from people calling in from Seattle. We are not panicked at all. Okay. Russell Wilson's not going anywhere. Okay. As long as he's under center, we're good. We're about to get some defense in the draft, either a D end or a corner, and we're going to be back. And one more thing for the Boston Stooge. When you guys introduce AJ today, can I please get that AJ Hawk? AJ Hawk!
Okay.
They also need no line. Is the biggest issue if you want to keep Russell Wilson.
Well, Russell Wilson's going to have to play there whether he likes it or not if Pete Carroll and Seattle don't want him to play anywhere else, which is also the fact for Deshaun in Houston, which is interesting to see how that whole thing unfolds. It is nice to hear a Seattle Seahawk fan, though, or a Seattle caller that is a Seahawk fan, because everybody else that calls us is a fan of another team. And it makes you wonder, is that because they hate Russell Wilson specifically, or is it because the Seahawks as a whole? Josina Anderson reported yesterday that Russell Wilson isn't getting traded. Her source told her that. Russell Wilson will be a Seattle Seahawk. What happens if they trade up in the draft, though, and get his inevitable replacement like the Green Bay Packers did with Aaron Rodgers last year?
Well, it's interesting because he is a Seahawk until he's not a Seahawk. And he wants out. He's not happy in Seattle.
Go Hawks, dude.
Hey, he's not saying go Hawks anymore.
Have we listened to the interview he did with Dan Patrick the morning after Team 3 released something? And did he say go Hawks at the end of it?
I did not see it, but I don't think he signed off with go Hawks, which is kind of what
he lost
all
service.
All the flares went up. They're like, holy shit, we need to address this situation right now. Hey, you don't help the O-line out a little bit? I mean, Russ is going to be saying, go Colts, go shoe, for the shoe.
And I would say that the reason we don't do the AJ Hawk chant is because, like most things in this particular office, is we just wear them completely thin. Like, just completely wear them out.
What?
See, that one had to take a little bit of a break. That'll make its way back, though. That'll be one that'll be cyclical in the rotation. But there are a lot of things that come in, and we wear it out so much that it's gone. And some people don't listen to our entire shows. So I think some people hear things in certain parts of shows, and then they don't hear it for like maybe a few days. But we have definitely beaten it to death in other parts of the show that you have not heard.
Yeah.
So just know that although the AJ Hawk chants aren't every single day, when they come out, they are appreciated a lot more as opposed to every single day where it's like, all right, fucking, let's get through this. Well, please do the chant for somebody else. JJ Watt puts out a tweet that says free agency is wild. JJ Watt allegedly, now sources have said, and we must remember that sources potentially lie about everything that they say to people. It has actually been described by a former general manager in the NFL as a billboard on the worldwide leader for what these sources are putting out in certain situations. Chris Mortensen reported about a dozen teams were interested in J.J. Watt. I believe that to be true. I would assume a lot of people want J.J. Watt in their building. He puts out a tweet that says free agency is wild. That obviously goes wild, brother, on the internet. Where is J.J. Watt going to end up at? Well, he signed with the Steelers because his brothers are there, and they can host that tag show from Pittsburgh and maybe do something that three brothers have never done before in the NFL, which is win together. Does he go to Cleveland? Because Cleveland seems to be going all in, and that defensive line with him on there could potentially take them over the hump. But then he would be saying directly to his brothers, fuck you.
Yeah.
Or does he go back to the Green Bay Packers, his home state, or does he hate Wisconsin? Did he lie in that graduation speech about loving the state of Wisconsin the entire time?
No, he's got his log cabin out there. I mean, it's basically all kind of setting it up for JJ to come home.
Okay, so let's say he doesn't come home, though. He doesn't
Then
like
he
his
hates
log
Wisconsin,
cabin.
yes.
He hates Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Then he goes down to Tampa Bay. And it's like, well, that team, he's just going to a loaded team. It's Florida. It's warm. There's no taxes. The team is loaded. Probably going to make a run back. But then it's J.J. Watt taking the easy way out.
No.
I mean, nothing J.J. Watt does is going to be over with some people who hate J.J. Watt. Okay, there's going to be people that hate no matter what J.J. Watt does. But there's people in the NFL right now that are very excited for J.J. Watt to potentially get on their team. And I think those teams we just listed, all their fan bases, if they had J.J. Watt on their squad, they'd be like, now we go.
Yeah.
So it's got to be a good time to be J.J. Watt if I had to guess. There's probably a lot of things potentially getting thrown his way right now.
Well, and what if, too, he just was like, all right, I'm going to take a week off, go on vacation, just get out of here. And then all of a sudden he turns on SportsCenter. He's like, Titans or Browns? What the hell are they talking about? I didn't know I was going there.
Well, it's interesting because I have said that I have watched a practice of the Colts, gone into the locker room, looked at my phone, and an insider had reported something that happened at our practice that I was at that I did not know about.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of those potential situations that happen, especially in free agency, because you got a lot of people either trying to get themselves in a good position of leverage. Oh, we got a lot of teams coming after blah, blah, blah. Or J.J. Watt's team is potentially saying, 12 teams have been interested. So all of you teams that are interested, listen, you maybe have to up the ante a little bit. You never know who's putting the information out. Let's assume that a lot of people want J.J. Watt, just like a lot of people wanted Tom Brady last year, but it was not being talked about at all. What do you have, Gumpy? You like J.J. Watt potentially being on the Miami Dolphins next year?
I would love JJ in Miami, but if he wants to go to Tampa Bay, he deserves it, Pat. Whatever he wants, go get a championship, pal.
Hey, just like LaShawn McCoy. He said, hey, I have all these numbers. I do all this thing. What I didn't have was a championship run. J.J. Watt would be a massive piece if he was able to get in there, especially there's other places too, like the Colts, for instance. I mean, let's go, pal. I mean, come on and play for the Indianapolis Colts. Houston Texans were rude to you, dude.
KC.
I don't know if he's going to come to Indy, but Kansas City, Tampa Bay, Green Bay, Cleveland, Tennessee, all these cities sound. If they get J.J. Watt, it's going to be a good thing. We have to get to a break. Jason Sanders, the kicker that just signed a $22 million contract yesterday, will join us alongside A.J. Hawk. This is the Pat McAfee Show, Wednesday the 17th.
Hello and welcome to Office Championship Wrestling live in Indianapolis, Indiana. Tonight we have a straight to hell match in which the devil will battle against our office wrestler, Dylan Boston. You might be wondering how we got here. Let's find out right now.
And now we have to make a deal with the devil.
Yeah, no big deal. Classic trial by combat situation. We got our champion, Dylan Bostic. All he's got to do, win the match, 1, 2, 3, and we're home safe.
The only man that would take the job to protect us from the devil himself, Dylan Bostic.
Like you mentioned, Pat, there's probably about 5 or 6 other guys we'd rather have in this position, but we'll take Bostic, I guess.
Not only are all of our souls on the line, the Office Championship Wrestling Championship presented by Natural Light is also on the line.
Jesus, the devil's trying to put Bostic straight to hell!
I do not want to go to
Good God,
hell!
no!
Don't do
Good
it!
God, no! Come on, Bostic, Pat!
Oh, no! Oh, my...
I'll see you in hell, Pat. The goddamn Easter Bunny's out here! What the hell's he doing here?
The Easter Bunny is obviously here to help Dylan Bostic. Wait a minute. No!
No!
The Easter Bunny's been on the devil's side this whole time. Jesus Christ! Jesus Christ!
What the hell's Jesus Christ doing here?
The power of Christ is compelling Dylan Bostic.
Look at this, Pat! Jesus Christ is bringing Bostic back to life! Jesus is going insane! And now Bostic's kicking wholesale ass in the ring!
Jesus Christ has come to help Dylan Bostic defeat the devil and defeat the Easter Bunny. What's gonna happen here?
Good God Almighty, it looks like he's going up in the scissor lift!
Jesus is lifting the scissor lift! Jesus is now telling Bostic to come down.
Don't do it, Bostic! Don't do it! Oh my God! Bostic's dead! He's dead! You can't tell from home, but that scissor lift is about 8 stories up, Pat!
80 feet in the air! Oh wait, he's tuning up the bed! The devil!
Super kick! Into the casket! The devil goes down! The devil goes down!
He shuts the casket!
Straight
back to hell! The devil goes straight back to hell, where he belongs!
With the assist from Jesus Christ of Nazareth!
Dylan Bostic saves the PMI Office's souls and wins the OCW Championship right here on our first OCW Straight to Hell.
Oh, wow. He's getting the crowd into it. He's got some fun going on. Oh, boy.
Oh, with the balance! Oh, with the balance! Oh!
Silver platter for Pat. I don't know.
Oh, man. Oh, he's all over the table. He really is done for. Oh, and we have it! Oh, wow.
And there it is. There's too much semen in Bill's controller, so the buttons are sticking together. He is in jeopardy of owing.
Oh, Skunk is still alive.
Skunk is still alive, but
Let's go.
11-4.
Yeah, people talk about how skinny his legs are at times. I don't think people talk about how skinny his arms are as well. those things are paper thin.
We have eclipsed the $10,000.
Thank you, AJ.
Thank you, AJ.
Good boy, AJ Hawk.
Very.
I could barely hear you guys anyway, so it's good. That was a good match. Good
Hey,
couple matches by Pat.
AJ, appreciate
Yo.
you, man.
I'm sweating bad.
Yeah, me too.
Have
I'm
you
pretty
been
wide
beat?
open as well. Hey, you're a good
Have you
player,
been-
AJ. Is that your first time playing?
It's like my second time playing this game. Not real ping pong. I'd love to play you any day of the week, but this one's still fun.
Okay, well, I play Oculus ping pong. Okay? I'll see you next time, AJ. We appreciate you.
Thank you, AJ.
Thank you, AJ.
Yes. See you guys.
It sound right, boy.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we could talk about.
Speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back. Hour 3 on this Wednesday, February 17th, 2021. We have a brand new guest on the other side of this beat drop. Joining us now is a man who just got paid. Let me hold something. 5-year, $22 million deal for the kicker from the Miami Dolphins. He was all pro last year. The guy damn near never, ever misses. A 7th round draft pick out of New Mexico, ladies and gentlemen, Jason Sanders. Let's go, bro. What's going on, dude?
Hey, what's up, Pat? Thanks for having me.
Where are you at? Down in Miami? You're looking at condos, looking at mansions right now? What are you doing?
No, I'm actually in Phoenix right now. I just got to a hotel, so not very good connection.
Well, I appreciate you joining us, and congratulations. You'll be able to buy a hotel here soon. Whenever you get a deal like this yesterday, congratulations, earned, not given. It's not normal for kickers to make the name for themselves like you have in Miami. Consistency, turnover. You get this $22 million deal yesterday. Does it all just drop into your bank account today? Is that a part of the contract negotiation? When does it hit, Jason?
There's a signing bonus, short signing bonus that I'll probably get in 2 weeks, and then a roster bonus later in a couple months. But I just think it's crazy. You know, coming out of college 3 years ago, you think, you know, I know I'm good enough, but am I going to get that opportunity? And you know, when you get that opportunity, how do you take advantage of it? So I think 3 years later, I think it's crazy where it's come.
Well, congratulations. I mean, you've absolutely earned it. Big money. And anytime a kicker or punter gets paid, I get so excited because it's a beautiful thing. And especially now with the 33-yard extra points, you're starting to see the separation of the kickers that are good and the kickers that are maybe not as good. There's a tier system. You getting that payment from the Miami Dolphins is them saying, hey, we got a guy that's in that top tier. Your stats speak for themselves. Your game speaks for himself. But you're also a touchdown scorer. Did that come into negotiation at all, that you also scored touchdowns for the Miami Dolphins?
No, I'm just trying to do what I'm asked. That's about it. Yeah, if you want me to catch a ball, I'll go catch the ball. You want me to throw the ball, I'll throw the ball. So, you know, with my routine now, these off seasons, you know, before you start kicking, it's maybe like a 10, 15-minute throw around, you know.
Why do some guys, you know, we've all been there, kicking camps where you see people, they have massive legs. It's like, all right, that dude has a massive leg. If he ever can get right mentally, consistently, he can go. And now that you've been in the NFL, I assume you've even paid attention to it even more. The amount of guys that come in and leave and come in and leave, the turnover at kicker and punter is one that is very difficult. Normally, if you make it to about year 4, you're in for a long haul. You'll probably be on that kicking carousel if you're not with your one team for a long time. But there's a lot of turnover for guys that don't really make it. Was there any difference to you whether were you on scholarship in New Mexico? I'd assume you got drafted. So on scholarship in New Mexico, to their money being on the line, or you realizing how much money's on the line for people, was there any difference? Is that why you think some kickers struggle, or what is it, the ball? What do you think it is? And for you, was there any thought that the NFL wasn't the right league for you?
I just think, I mean, at the end of the day, the stage can't be too big for you, you know? So, I mean, every year you see how many good kickers there are coming out of college. And so if there's only 32 spots, what sets you apart from the other guys coming out, and they're already current free agents, you know? So I think the thing that helped me the most was just building confidence. Each kick was just another confidence boost for the next one. I think ultimately that's what, you know, I think puts good seasons together.
Who do you kick with? You kick with anybody in the offseason, or you're a loner?
There's a group in Jupiter we'll kick with. I'll kick with my brother a couple times. I got a kicking coach out in Texas I'll kick with. Yeah, I'm all over the place.
Your brother's a kicker, or is he? I should probably know this.
He's not. He's trying right now. He's working. He's he's been in the military for the past 4 years, and he's been grinding, so he's looking pretty good.
Well, thank him for his service, obviously. Did he kick in college, or is he going to go to like one of those regional combines he got to pay $300 to go to, and that's where Adam Thielen made his way in? Is that what he's going to end up having to do?
I think that'd probably be the best option. I mean, without any college footage, he played a year or two at a community college out of high school before he served in the military.
How's he? Pretty good. You say you?
I think he's pretty good.
Any guys that you think in the league that you can learn from at this point, or you think you got your routine and everything dialed in?
I mean, you're always learning. You're always taking what you see from other guys as well. But I think everybody's different. And once you find the routine that works for you, every year you got to stick with it, no matter if you're in a little slump maybe. But I think everybody's different. You got your own routines.
You haven't really hit a slump, by the way. That's why you just got paid $22 million over the next 5 years. That is not something that has happened. Guys have gotten in slumps. Getting out of slumps are very difficult. We're talking to Jason Sanders, a man who just got broken off for his consistency as the kicker for the Miami Dolphins. It feels like that team is very close, huh? That team is kind of grown now. I don't know. I don't recall. Was your first year the year that we all thought your team was potentially tanking and B-Flow came in and Ryan Fitzmagic did his thing, or were you there before the crew got in there?
No, I was there with Adam Gase last year.
Okay, talk about that change. Is it an entire culture change when B-Flow gets in there? What is it? Because it feels like that team has completely flipped around, Jason.
I think when you bring a new coach in, I think the fire in some guys elevate a little bit. And everybody's there to compete. Do you see the energy people bring at practice? Even Coach Flo, the coaching staff, the energy they all bring translates into the game. Everybody's having fun, and I think that's what makes it so special.
He almost fought a ref, B-Flow. Is he like that in practice too, or the refs?
And then that's the emotion I'm talking about, the energy.
Hey, does he go after the refs? Does he go after the refs in practice as well? BA used to go after the refs at practice. It was awesome. These refs are just in there trying to get extra reps. They got a high school game this weekend or a college game this weekend, and BA is just over there. You ain't never gonna make it in the NFL, boy. You ain't ever gonna make it with that type of call. Is B-Flow like that, or was that just something where he had a moment where he was pissed off there at that one particular ref?
No, I think it was just an unfortunate play that happened, and a lot of emotions. Even our whole team was, heated about it. So, I mean, there's nothing to hold anybody against on that.
How do you feel about Ryan Fitzmagic as a human? As a human being, Ryan Fitzmagic?
I think he's a very special dude. I think there's no one like him. The energy he also brings, the character he is. He's just an overall great person to be around, and I think having one of those guys in the locker room is huge.
What are you going to buy? Are you going to buy a mansion with this thing? What are we doing? What are you going to conserve it? Are you going to invest in Dogecoin maybe? What are you going to do with your big contract?
See, I'm a cheap, safe guy. I don't know. I got people. I don't know. I got a car already. I mean, what else do I need? I got an apartment. Maybe if it was time to buy a house, I'd buy a house, but I'm not in a rush.
What type of car? Anything cool?
2014 Ford Raptor.
Wow.
It's a 14. It's a 14.
Yeah, you got any mods on that thing, or is it just straight out of?
No, it's just a 14. Nothing special.
So you're just gonna sit on this money forever. You do what you're like supposed to do when you get paid. Now I'm the complete opposite, and that is why you are the most consistent guy, and that's why you get the contract you get. What Matt Hack, that dude, I got a chance to punt with him. I don't know if he told you about it. I got a chance to punt with him. He is a bomber. That might be one of the biggest legs I've ever seen, ever punt a ball. He has you guys got you and him down there have a chance to be the next guys that kind of make the Pro Bowl together almost. I think he bombs balls down there.
Yeah, when I walked into training camp my rookie year, that was the first thing I noticed. I've never seen a ball hit that big, so...
Me neither. I'm standing next to him like, who the fuck is this dude? I'm watching this ball go. I'm like, this guy is slaughtering. And I actually told him at the end, I was like, I've never seen somebody kick a ball the way you kick a ball. Like, you should be in every single Pro Bowl going forward. I don't even know what we're doing. But obviously, there's situations for punters and everything like that. But you and him down there, quite a tag team. It was fun to watch this year. Gumpy, diehard Dolphins fan. What do you have, pal?
Yeah, Jason, you guys hit more onside kicks and more fakes than anybody in the league by far. How much do you guys work on that in practice?
I don't want to give away secrets yet, but we're all working on them. I would say I have a bag of onside kicks I probably work on every, maybe Wednesday, Friday. But, I mean, it's something that makes me and Matt, I think, unique together. I have the onside kicks, and Matt has the cannon of an arm.
So the thing about he's a great athlete, by the way. Well, him punting balls, I was never. I mean, it was unfucking believable to watch what he was doing, especially because he's a lefty. Normally, lefties are a little bit more cleaner. He was just bombing balls. I mean, I was looking straight up in the air. Not a lot of guys work on their onside kicks because it hurts groins and toes and everything like that. And it's very obvious, I think, watching the NFL do onside kicks. Everybody says the rules and it's impossible to do. I think guys have gotten very lazy with onside kicks. It's very nice to hear that you work on them every single week because it's a weapon if you can do it.
Yeah, I think it's just something I'm good at, so might as well keep it rolling. I think the rule definitely makes it harder.
I agree.
But if you get a good ball with a little bit of luck, I like our odds.
What, did you play soccer?
I did. I played soccer all the way up until I got the scholarship offer to New Mexico.
Good soccer player? Would have made it as a soccer player?
I like to believe so, but at the end of the day, I only got one offer, and it was to play New Mexico football. So as the years go on, I'm looking back. Maybe I wasn't as good as I thought I was.
Seems like. I mean, nothing's really adding up. Did you always have a strong leg in soccer, though?
Yeah.
Yeah, always had. You just had the biggest leg on the team, always.
No, I don't know. I mean, my whole family, they were all soccer players. They all had huge legs as well.
And when did you start kicking? In high school, just because fucking around, or did somebody tell you to do it?
So my freshman year of high school, my brother was the varsity kicker, and I had the football coach as a health teacher, and he wanted me to play because he thought my brother was really good, and I wasn't about it. I was like, no, I'm a soccer player. I don't want to do it. And so I ended up showing up a day before the game, kicked a couple field goals, a couple bombs, and then got out. And every week I started showing up, and I was part of the team.
Hey,
and then I started playing freshman and then JV and then varsity the last 2 years.
Well, I'd assume they're happy that you did that. Your family should be as well. Here you are, paid one of the best in the game at this point, only going to get better. I appreciate you stopping by, man. Congrats. Enjoy Phoenix over there.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me.
Hey, go spend some of that money, dude. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
I'm a golfer, so all I need is a nice course.
Are you good? Are you a good golfer?
Yeah, 7 handicap, 6 handicap.
Whoa! Good luck out on the course out there, ladies and gentlemen. Jason Sanders. Thank you, Jason. Great golfer.
Yeah.
Great golfer. Most kickers, punters are, by the way. Quarterbacks, kickers, punters, normally very good at golf. Now, you can dive deeper into that. Normally, where those particular position groups are coming from, golf might be a pretty prominent sport. Not 100% sure for everybody, but I'm saying if you paint a broad brush, normally that's the case. My family was not a big golf family growing up, so my first set of clubs was actually after I got drafted, that whole thing. But a lot of guys, they kind of grow up playing, and then it becomes one of those things like, okay, when you punt, you have to do the same swing every single time. When you kick, you have to do the same swing every time. When you golf, you have to do the same. So it's normally something that guys can pick up relatively easy. If you have that ability in your mind to be able to do something and repeat it on a normal basis, normally that translates well. That's why you would think my golf game would be better than it actually is. Son of a bitch. Joining us now, professional golfer AJ Hawk.
Yeah!
You missed the kicker, Jason Sanders from the Dolphins. I don't know if you did that on purpose or not, but it's great to have you here, AJ.
Yeah, it's good to be here. A couple minutes before the show, all of a sudden my little preamp deal that I plug into just decided to be dead. So I had to scramble and found my old one, and hopefully you can hear me.
Well, you sound great, and thanks for making a play there. AJ Hawk! AJ Hawk! AJ Hawk! Made a play, you know what I mean? That was for TJ, by the way. Shout out to you over there in Seattle. AJ, a lot of conversation today. Have you ever met Shady in real life? He was a great conversation earlier today.
I played against him. Obviously, I have not met him, but I caught a little bit of that interview. Yeah, what a a guy that has a lot of awareness and has had a hell of a career too. Like I appreciate like how he views everything.
I would assume that whenever you played against him for the first time, your defensive coach, much like the defensive coaches that I heard speak, thought that, the way he carries the ball, just be able to punch that thing out. Like, let's just go ahead and secure the tackle for sure. But let's remember, bad ball security on Shady or whatever. He kind of killed that narrative. He's the only guy I can recall that is running like that all the time and has had success with it and hasn't been like a catastrophe. And I think that in of itself deserves Hall of Fame cred. Just that whole thing there.
Well, he'll go into traffic like that. A lot of times guys can be loose with it, but then when they're anywhere near traffic, they're putting two hands or they're tucking it away. Like Shady has so much confidence in maybe he's just got the strongest hands and forearms in America. I don't know.
Hey, he's got 2 Super Bowl rings. You know what I mean? The internet has to hate that. They have to hate that. The internet has to hate that guy. And by the way, a little follow-up, speaking of Super Bowl, we heard yesterday from Rob Ninkovich that he has one of the Lombardis because it's an option to Super Bowl champions, I'd assume. I don't know. I've never won. So, AJ, you would have to tell us more here. Do you get an option to potentially buy a Lombardi from Tiffany's if you won a Super Bowl? Is that how that works? And were you offered that?
If that is how it works, no one made me aware of this. And I don't know, maybe all of my teammates from back then have one of these Lombardis, and I just didn't get the memo.
Vinatieri has 4 of them, right? I mean, he called us from the Super Bowl.
Full replicas?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looked like they were full size, and they were just sitting there, and he has a pool table, and he was sitting at the bar, and he's just got all these, like, NFL legendary moments plastered all the way around. He has basically the Hall of Fame Museum, which he was a part of, in his downstairs, and I assume he only goes down there, like, during Super Bowl week or only a couple times or whatever. But, yeah, he had 4 of them behind there. We started looking. We could buy one for the next set for our next office. Ooh. Something to think about. You know what I mean? Something to think about here.
The only thing I have, one of my older brothers has, it's a replica Super Bowl ring, but it's a paperweight, so it's gigantic. Like it would be big on Shaq's hand probably.
Probably not, by the way. I've seen Shaq. He was selling printers the other day.
Yeah.
Fucking shout out.
I got his printer. I bought his printer. He sold me his commercial.
That's why Shaq is Shaq.
Yeah. Yeah, we need a new printer for some certain area. I'm like, man, this is right. Look, you don't have to buy cartridges. You just get the ink in a bottle and you just fill it right up in the machine. Man, Shaq got me. I understand why he pubs everything.
Shaq, that's so much smarter. Okay, that's so much smarter, Shaq. Thank you for him, the general, the icy hot, the printers, the drinks, the DJ. He is the hardest working human on earth. We need a young Shaq series. We have to get to a break. 19 minutes into the third hour here. Please. We will talk to AJ about Young Rock last night. I'm sure he's excited to hear what Toxic Nick had to say about it. We'll take some of your phone calls. 1-888-MAD-DOG-6. Let's have a Wednesday the 17th. I'm going on vacation after this show. I will call into tomorrow's show, but tomorrow's show will be hosted by AJ Hawk in this studio right now. Ain't that right, AJ?
Yeah, hopefully I make it. I'm going to make the trek over there tomorrow morning.
What do you mean, make it?
It's supposed to snow. Maybe come out tonight,
yourself
by the
some
way.
time to get here.
Maybe come out tonight. It's supposed to snow tomorrow morning.
Hey, on a real note, so 2 days ago, my left rear tire I pulled in my garage and realized it's completely flat to the rim. So there's no way I'm going to go get it, situation, do whatever. So I got my Fix-A-Flat in there, a bunch more air on top of it. It seems to be running okay for the last day and a half. I'm good to drive to Indy, right?
Yeah, 3 hours. 3 hours in like negative 10-degree weather, which automatically gets the air out of your tires already. This seems like a very smart decision. If I were you, I'd be trying to turn right as often as possible too. Go ahead and put some heat on that thing. Go ahead and go ahead and test that thing early. You know what I mean? See if it pops out there. And this is a 2-wheel drive truck you have, by the way?
No, it's a 4-wheel drive, but the good thing is I have 2 extra cans of Fix-A-Flat in my truck right now for the drive.
Smart. So whenever that thing blows out, when you're going about, 45, 50 miles an hour because of the weather tomorrow, when that thing blows out, you'll be able to pull into one of the other lanes that haven't been plowed yet while the people are driving by, potentially out of control as well, and you just go ahead and put your Fix-A-Flat back in there. We appreciate you doing that.
I'm looking forward to it.
So I'm hosting a show tomorrow.
Yeah, he's not coming. He's already setting him up, for success when he doesn't show up.
I will rent a car in the middle of the highway. I'll find a way. I'll get there. Don't worry.
Enterprise.
Oh yeah. Did you hear earlier why I'm doing the first hour and a half from the FaceTime?
No.
Well, I booked a guest personally, asked the person to come on the show and say, hey, I would love to talk to you. just 3 days ago I did that. Completely forgot that I would not be here. So I'm going to FaceTime from the beach probably for that conversation. And then immediately following, I'm going to get the fuck out. So
Okay, who is it? Who's this guest?
It's a NASCAR guest.
Mitch McConnell?
Oh, if only.
It's not Mitch McConnell, but it's not Mitch McConnell.
Mitchie.
We couldn't get Mitch McDowell on.
Does he know that I'm gonna be sitting in for you and you're gonna be via FaceTime from some beach somewhere in some exotic location?
All he's gonna see is just my face on there. You know what I mean? It's now granted I might have the sombrero on.
Yeah.
I might be a little loosey goosey at the time. But all he'll see is me with my socialite thing set up right there at the beach chair. And I'll just be chilling. He won't even know. He'll think this is kind of... No, actually, he does watch the show. He would know. He's probably heard me say this, actually, so... It'll be a good convo, though.
Great call.
I'm excited to see you host this thing tomorrow, AJ, and we appreciate you. On the other side, we'll take some phone calls here on SiriusXM Channel 82, Mad Dog Sports Radio.
We are moments before going out onto the field and kicking some field goals to raise a crap ton of money for the kids. And I'm about to become an old man. Said I do this, then I do this, then I do this. Oh, Cuzzy. Oh my God. You want a little bit of that grandpa? Hey, you see, you go, I'm just so excited we can raise some money because that's what we're here for. What's going on? Hey, hey, hey. It is hard to see down. Cool, Grandpa. There's no way I lived this long in real life.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for our contestant and cheer him on as he attempts to raise $70,000 for cancer research. On your mark, get set, go!
I've been a fan of the Colts since the Mayflower came from Baltimore.
I don't know, sir. You sound a little familiar.
This is the greatest city on earth. And ladies and gentlemen, it was my honor to raise $70,000 for cancer research. Sorry, I missed a couple. I'm an old man. Let's go. Let's
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Pat McAfee and $70,000 towards cancer research. Go Colts!
And the ball's leaning back. Couldn't see. It's a lot more difficult seeing. Hi! Old man's got a hammer.
This is the Pat McAfee Show on Sirius XM Mad Dog Sports Radio. We thank you for taking the time to seek out this small regional show that streams internationally. Here's Pat and the boys.
Oh, yes. Welcome back to the show. It's time to spoil the shit out of your dog with BarkBox. 2 toys, 2 treats, and a chew. It starts as low as $23 a month for $60 worth of dog chews and toys. It's the best day of the month for our dogs. When their BarkBox arrives, tails start wagging, ears get perked up, noses start sniffing. And that's what it's all about, isn't it?
Oh, hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. As a fur dad...
Keep going.
Something funny.
As a fur dad, all I'm trying to do is get my dog's tails to wag. When they do that, there's no way that you can be mad. I know BarkBox is bringing tail wags to my dogs in my house. And my house. Join now and get a free extra toy in every box. That's $60 worth of toys for free on a year. Sign up your pup and get unique toys and snacks, plus a free extra toy every single month. Tailored toys and treats, ship free every single month. Start now and get $60 in free toys. Unique toys, USA-made treats, free monthly delivery, and $60 in free extra toys when you go to barkbox.com/Pat. That's BARKBOX.com/PAT. Shout out to BarkBox, AJ.
Shout out. BarkBox, yes.
Oh, I heard you. Got that booty bop, give it away now. Give it away now. Mama told me one day a love like you was lonely. Don't leave me lonely. Welcome back. Welcome back, all right? Wow. What's up, dude? I'm on fucking beach right now.
I know. I know you are. That's why I feel I'm glad. And I don't know what I did to get this lucky that I am supposedly a grown adult and this is kind of my profession.
It is. Like, this is your job now at this point, huh?
This is my job. Yeah, that's the best part about it. That's what I was thinking about when you guys were you continue to go after, like, in the read, in your song. I'm like, hey, it goes back to what I told you before. And people say, oh, what's the show like? And you try to explain it. I'm like, watch, just actually don't watch. But if you somehow come upon it, then maybe something will happen. But yeah, it's funny to me thinking about, hey, this is what I do. Like, I love it. I'm very thankful.
Think about everything you've accomplished in your life, okay? This guy just won a national championship in college football. Congrats.
Yeah. Congrats.
Super Bowl. Oh, my God.
Uh-huh.
He's got massive marketing deals with those brain pills, Under Armour, all these other things. And at this point of his life, this is what he's doing. Mm-hmm. And AJ, that's why you're a Hall of Famer to me, pal. Thank you, AJ. Thank you, AJ. Great work, pal.
Thank you.
I heard you listen.
The barks have been getting very aggressive too from the boys.
What do you mean?
Really? Talking about?
What do you mean?
I pay attention to how the barks are. I can kind of tell how the show's going by how they're barking on and off to your breaks. But yeah, they're getting aggressive. So I think the boys are feisty when you're getting out of town.
Well, I don't think it's feisty. It's off season, and I believe there's potentially more vitamins and CBD being inhaled, to kind of keep it going. Because I don't know if you know this, AJ. You'll find this out tomorrow when you're thinking about coming in here to host this show. There ain't shit going on. No. James Harden, by the way. James Harden last night, burying a 3, down 1, 20-some seconds left against the Phoenix Suns. Whenever they were down 20-some at half, no Kevin Durant, no Kyrie Irving. They were dressed in very, very, very casual clothes on the sideline with no team representatives at all. And James Harden took over for the Nets last night. At one point, they were like plus 2,000 live bet or something like that to come back and win that thing. James Harden put Brooklyn on his back. Other than that, Young Rock happened. AJ.
Oh, shit.
Did you see Young Rock? Did you watch it last night? What a show, Zito. Hell yeah. What a show.
I watched it just a little bit ago, yeah. Nick actually texted me and said the boys all enjoyed it, and he thought it was amazing, so I had to check it out.
I'm glad Nick liked it too.
Nick, I knew Nick privately liked it. I know that's the case.
If you checked it out, what do you think, AJ? Come on.
I'm trying to figure out what's happening. Like,
what do you mean?
There's so many different things, and he's trying to address it. I give The Rock credit. Like, you're trying to figure out, okay, how do I, the whole presidential thing. Like, there's just so many things going on. Are we just setting up the rest of the season? How many episodes did they shoot?
11, from what we've been told.
Ooh.
Oh, what was that?
What was that mean? Whoa.
Yeah. Think about sitting through 11 more of those, AJ.
10
Think about it.
more. 10 more. Too much,
10 more of those.
idiot.
11, because I know you didn't watch that whole first episode.
Oh, jeez.
You have to, because Peacock doesn't let you fast forward. But if you're okay, so there's 11 episodes. He's at Miami now.
Tried
The first episode.
Tried to fast forward.
You were trying to fast forward through that thing.
Through the show?
Fast forward through a lot of shows where I know I don't need to see this scene. Yes, I absolutely.
Oh, no, that's the part of it. Every scene matters. Every scene. It's a good sitcom.
It's the pilot, dude.
Line
It's the pilot.
matters.
No, I had a range of emotions throughout. At first, I did not have great expectations. I didn't think I wasn't sure what was happening. I watched the rest of it. I didn't despise it completely. I will give that episode 2 a chance because I have respect for The Rock. But I'm still trying to figure out what the show is. I'm just still confused.
It's a life. It's a rockumentary.
You need to watch his video after to really understand it, AJ.
He told us. He let us know. Everybody loved it.
Yeah.
Except for Nick.
Everybody loved it.
Rock
AJ.
told us so. I liked it. I'm watching episode 2. I think the only problem they did is they didn't run that thing back to back. We should have had 2 episodes last night, 2 episodes next week, maybe 3 episodes a week after that. Let's just get a full rockumentary evening. You know what I mean? When Warren Sapp starts getting in there, let's go ahead and get that thing bigger and bigger. You know what I mean?
So are these stories? Do we believe them? Like the story? Like
Waffles? Yeah, dude.
Waffles are a real guy, dude.
Are these stories that The Rock has told previously?
You need to spend time with the people that care for you.
Hell yeah.
Waffles, crackhead.
Like, is that real? Are we supposed to believe that happened?
You know what? I bet that is real. Waffles is real. The guy in the trunk, they're not real.
Not real, yeah. That was added for comedy.
Yeah, that was Hollywood. That was Hollywood. That was cinematic.
The crackhead in the car?
Yeah.
So I think it's the inverse because I've heard the crackhead story from folks that were around Rock at that age. I think the Waffles guy is not real.
No! Shut up!
Oh, you mean he didn't get life lessons?
I know.
Come on!
Street. Look, as hard as you may find it to believe, I think they may have taken creative liberties with a sage homeless man that imparted Rock this life-changing wisdom. But the crackhead in the back of the car is real, from what I've known.
So what's real?
What's that song? What's that song where the you go meet that drunk at the bar? The guy talks to him, and then when he dies, the will he gives it to him. And it's a country song.
Live Like You Were Dying?
Is it Rehab?
No.
Bartender.
Cats in the Cradle?
No.
Oh, and Silver Spoon.
No. Oh, man, it's a good song. Not that song, no. There's a lot of bartender songs, by the way. We can't get into all of them at this particular moment.
Is it Garth Brooks?
No, it was actually a guy at a bar was telling a story about how he sat down at a bar next to this man who was drinking with him, basically, asked him about his life and everything, befriended him. He ends up dying. He gave his will to that person, gave him like life advice and gave him his will instead of his family or whatever. It almost felt like that was what that homeless man was, like just giving this incredible life lesson to The Rock all through the show. And I think that's what Waffles was.
All he did was tell Rock not to be a scumbag.
No, and then he told him about working hard too. I assume they cut out some of the things that Waffles actually said in real life.
And turns out it was bullshit.
No,
Was Waffles really the smartest worker in the room?
People are crazy.
Wait, was Waffles really the guy with $7?
The chat's saying
Beers, gun.
Whiskey for my
No. I did think of that song though while I was trying to think of that song.
Billy
People
Kirk.
are
crazy.
Yeah.
Song, yeah.
God is good.
God is
beer
great.
is great. No, beer is good.
God is great.
I would assume they wouldn't put
is good.
I mean, he was at the bar though. He wasn't at church.
People are crazy.
He was at a bar. He wasn't at a church.
It's God is great, beer is good, and people are crazy.
Okay, so he did put God above beer, which is interesting because they could have met it on a pew and they met it on a bar stool. So people, will judge it and take it in certain ways when they're trying to decipher what the fuck the song was years later after hearing it for the first time. What's that, Ty?
Well, I was just going to say, color me shocked that this crackhead that Rock met in real life wasn't very eloquent and, good speaking, and wasn't probably just some crackhead who was, messed up and had soiled underwear and all that kind of stuff. It's amazing what they put on the show.
He had a good bandana on the show.
Great bandana.
Bandana. You look like Brett Michaels a little bit.
Whoa.
Let's go to Andrew in Albany, New York. What's going on, Andrew?
Hey, Pat the boys, AJ, how we doing today?
Hey, not too bad. Beer is good. God, though, great. People fucking crazy. This guy. Andrew.
All right, so
Thank you.
if the Cowboys franchise tag Dak Prescott, does he pull Le'Veon Bell and hold out?
$37 million. It's a little bit different than what Le'Veon Bell would have been making as a franchise tag. Remember, there was a moment when Le'Veon Bell was rapping, freestyling in his front yard. Pretty good bars, by the way. And he said that he needs 17 M's or whatever. And he was talking about yearly. Now, he held out and never got 17 M's a year, but he did get over $30 million with the Jets. Now he's on the Chiefs. Obviously, who knows how that's going to work out going forward. But for Dak Prescott, after that injury, I don't know if he can just hold out. I don't know if you hold out for a year after that injury, it's in his best interest. And also, it's like $37 million, which is a lot of money. And if they franchise tag him again, it's like $50 million or something like that. So it's $120 million over the next 3 years if they continue to franchise tag him or whatever. I assume a deal is going to potentially get done. But in this market, Dak has all the leverage right now. There's a lot of teams that would love Dak Prescott. So if they don't franchise tag him, that's going to get pricey. Those numbers are going to get run up. It's going to be a yodely situation, which is why everybody's saying Jerry has handled this completely wrong from Jump Street. But it's the same conversation every offseason. What is Jerry Jones doing with his team?
So how many times do they have left to tag him?
2. I think you can only do it 3 times. It used to be like guys got tagged 5 times. Julius, didn't he? Didn't Julius Peppers? I think he got 4 times or something like that. Vinatieri got tagged 2 or 3 times in a row. I don't know if it maybe 4 times. It's interesting because it's supposed to grow or whatever there. Great advertising, by the way. But, I mean, we felt real good whenever we created that type of thing. But you can only do it 3 times now, I think. Or maybe it's 2. I forget what it was. But there was a while there where guys were never seeing free agency, and the franchise tag was like, nope. And the franchise tag doesn't account for bonuses. It's just salary each year, average of the top 5.
But it's guaranteed. Like, once you sign the franchise tag, that's a $37 million guarantee.
Yeah.
The question is, do you want to take that guarantee right now, and do you take it like a slap in the face, like the team doesn't trust you to be the face of that team, like, or you're still on like a rental period to see if you're truly that guy?
Yeah, that would be 60 some million over the last 2 years or whatever. So I mean, that's a lot of money too if you're Dak Prescott. I mean, 60 some million guaranteed over the last 2 years is the highest in the NFL, I would assume, over the last 2 years. I don't know if anybody else is up there and if they franchise tag him again, but it is the respect thing. It's like, hey, you saw what the team became without me. Last year, you could have paid me. The year before that, you could have paid me. I was, fourth? What was he? Third round? He was a third rounder. His rookie contract was not that great. Now, although being the Cowboys' starting quarterback is very nice for exposure and national marketing brands and everything like that, but at some point, Jerry's going to have to pay him, and the longer he waits and the more his team it was a disaster without him, it's only getting more and more pricey for him. Is he going to come back and be the same guy? Yeah, he'll be good. He'll be great, right?
Yeah. I think it'll be the same guy, but why do you think Jerry's waiting? Because the longer you wait, the higher the price tag is for quarterbacks and Dak Prescott.
Everybody's going to say that Jerry loves Dak. Jerry loves Dak. Oh, I love Dak. My family. He's like family to me. Remember Jason Garrett? We didn't fire him for 5 years because he was family to me. I loved it. Everybody says that Jerry loves Dak. Jerry loves Dak. Jerry loves Dak. And it's like, okay, cool. We love Dak too here as fans, but you're signing everybody else to 5-year deals, 4-year deals, and Dak isn't getting it. And then Jerry gets kind of pressed a little bit whenever he was doing a Salvation Army event on NFL Network. And I thought we were here talking about what we're doing for society, but I mean, if we're going to talk about Dak, okay, I just want to win a game, is what he said. So maybe, although Jerry likes Dak a lot, winning is the over. If Dak goes on and wins this year, maybe Jerry will be like, that's what I'm looking for. But I think Jerry realizes, like everybody else realizes, that if Dak reaches free agency, there's going to be a lot of teams that want Dak Prescott on their team, and that is going to get very, very, very expensive. So Jerry's just kind of sitting on his yacht, wasting time here, thinking about what he wants. And there's 31 other teams, not 31 because there's 25 other teams that are thinking like, if Dak hits the market, we got to think about some things here.
Well, so Jerry, what is he? He's probably mid-70s right now? How old he is?
I mean, in my head, I just looked at his face that I saw last, and I was like, probably 78, late 70s.
78. So he's thinking like, okay, how many more chances, how many more windows does the Dallas Cowboys team have while I'm still running the show? Like, And does he want to move on from Dak and try to find a way to bring someone else in? Or if you go with Dak, it's like, hey, Dak's our guy. This is my chance. This is our window right now. I got to go all in.
Yeah, why doesn't he just bring in Ryan Fitzmagic and just get on? Get on with it.
See you in the Super Bowl.
Hey, let Dak play for the Colts, dude. We'll see. Hey, we'll see if he's going to bounce back.
Yeah.
Hey, we'll see if he'll bounce back up here in Indianapolis, with a great offensive line, good culture, a defense that flies around, goes to work every single day, accountability, a team that can go on a run. We'll do that for you, Jer. You just get your guy down there that you want to have. Ain't that right, Ty?
Yeah, maybe extend Dalton.
Yeah, get the Red Rocket out there. Is he ever going to come on this show, by the way, Andy Dalton? Never, huh?
We need him to. I should say something. Let's try to get him on.
He was supposed to come on at one time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. And then,
something happened that he would come on and talk about it. Yeah. He didn't come on.
I assume he's still trying to collect his thoughts from that game in Washington this year.
You're talking about whenever
when his head got just absolutely catapulted into the turf.
That's what Andy Dalton is, though, by the way. Tough guy.
Yeah.
Took that hit. Nobody helped him up. Nobody went to fight the guy. Left. Came back later. Played good football. Almost got the fucking Cowboys in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Now,
extend him.
There was a sledgehammer. There was a team meeting that potentially boosted the boys to those victories, but I think Andy Dalton was a rather large piece of that as well.
Could they tag and trade Dak or no?
I think
you're not allowed to under the franchise tag.
I would assume franchise tag guys have been traded before, because then yeah, that might be a part of it because you can't negotiate. There's only windows. I was franchise tagged, obviously. No big deal. As soon as they told me what the amount was that I was guaranteed to be getting the next year, I said, where do I sign
Give me that pen.
It says next year.
Where do I sign? What's that?
It says yes in this CBS article.
And then it's probably like a sign, trade, renegotiation, extension, but you can't negotiate or extend in the middle of some time whenever you're franchise tagged. Because there's a time before the season that they can talk to you. And after you get franchise tagged, before the season starts, there's a time where you can talk and maybe like, hey, let's work this out and get a long-term deal done. And that never happened for me. There was zero conversation. Then as the season goes, they're not allowed to talk about it. There's no conversation. And then there comes a time where it's like, okay, now you can negotiate or whatever. So if you can trade, I wonder if those rules are a little bit changed whenever a franchise tag player is traded or whatever.
Because they do that with Texans. Keep both those guys in Texas. I know Dak's a man of God.
What do we do? We talked about this,
yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday or 2 days ago, somebody made that rumor up. This is from your questions from other shows. I think
No.
I think it's penetrating.
I got a list of them. Believe me, it wasn't on there.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. It was definitely on. It was 2 days ago. I think that was the big conversation.
Dak for Watson?
Right after the one that every day Carson Wentz is being traded in the next day or two.
Yeah, the early reports are saying in the next few days Carson Wentz will be traded. Dan Sileo of the Dan Sileo Show, DANSILEO Show. Dan Sileo says that the Eagles and Colts are wrapping up a deal for Carson Wentz. That was a tweet that he put out there. We have no idea who Dan Sileo is. He's got a check mark, though. He feels good about it. He's taking a swing. Now, will this be a Sir Yacht situation where he inevitably is right? His sources are telling him things. It's just nowhere near the time that it's actually happening. Is this a prediction breaking news situation that does happen around the internet? Shout out Ultra Weed Hater, who has already got Carson Wentz to Chicago, I believe, around the internet a couple times. McCockner still got his passport.
Oh, yeah.
He put JJ to the Packers like 3 times.
Yeah, McCockner still got his passport.
Still got it.
Or is it much more likely that a deal gets done whenever it comes nearer to that $10 million roster bonus that Carson Wentz is owed day 3 of the new year, which starts on March 17th, I believe. So that seems like that's probably when the deal's going to happen.
Hey, but more importantly, Connor, what did you think of the Young Rock?
Oh, jeez.
You think I gave that show a chance? I let Nick watch it. I let him judge it, and then I go from there. And clearly, there's been some liberties taken, but no, I'll give it a chance once there's 3 episodes out.
Let's go to Jacob in Maryland. Jacob, what's going on, dude?
Hey, what's up?
What's going on, man? How you doing, man? Thanks for calling. You wanna?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, just. What do you got going on? What do you got going on?
I'm a Bengals fan, and I wanted to thank you for bringing light to the cheap stooge of the Bengals, Mike Brown.
We're all in this together, Jacob. We're all in this together, okay? We're trying to get the Bengals franchise up and going. We love Jerry Burrow. We don't want him to die.
Yeah. My question is for Money Myth, though. How the hell is AJ Green number 2 on his top 3 agents.
Who gives a fuck, Jacob? Let's go to JT in Arkansas. JT, what's going on?
Hey, doing good. How you guys doing?
What, Mitt put out a top free agent
Yeah,
list?
Mitt had his top 10 free agents.
Nice.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I need to check that out. That needs to be a part of research for the show going forward. And by the way, Mitt has ties.
He does.
Mitt has been around the NFL since he was a young teenager, early teens. He's been around the NFL.
And there were some Broncos players on there, and we're worried that he might get his dad fired.
Let's go to JT in Arkansas. JT, what's going on?
Hey, it's going good. How you guys doing?
Woo Pig Suey, pal. We're doing good.
That's awesome. Hey, I know you guys talking about how there's not shit going on, not too much to talk about. So hey, I got the newest thing for you guys. You may have heard of it. It's MotoGP. I think it is the most electric sport in the world. I know Bill Burr is a huge fan of it. It starts in March. You guys can gamble on it. You guys they have a fantasy built into it. It's good stuff.
All right. What is MotoGP?
It's a motorcycle racing.
It's basically like Formula One with motorcycles. It's insane. They top out at about 220 miles an hour. They're leaning. They're dragging their knees, elbows. It's an exciting sport.
We're not ready for Mitt's top 10. I do not need that.
My call is a two-parter, if I may be so bold.
Sweet list.
I'm originally from Washington.
I'm looking at it right now.
and I heard
Need it for tomorrow.
JT, thanks, man. So MotoGP, I have seen MotoGP. JT did not deserve that. I mean, I just got calls from the back about it. But MotoGP, they lay those things fucking sideways.
They put their knees in the ground.
I mean, they legitimately lay those things sideways, and they're going like probably, I have no idea. I would assume 150 miles an hour, 180 miles an hour, whatever it is. They are wide open on there. Like, definitely an intriguing sport, okay?
Yeah.
They did an Indy 500. I think they had one. You get it.
Yeah.
What I watched last night, though, motocross, supercross, these dudes are fucking sending it right now. Broken wrist on 2 different races last night. These guys are misjudging the bunny ramp or whatever. They're fucking launching themselves. I watched it. They were in a stadium in Orlando last night. I guess it rained. There was some mud on the track, causing quite a problem for some of the boys. I mean, I enjoyed that a lot. It's all about the whole shot. Hey, you don't get the whole shot, you might as well go ahead and call it quits while you try to commit suicide catching up to the front. Yeah. It is. I watched that late last night. I enjoyed it a lot.
Can you trade some paint? They run into each other?
I believe it does get a little. I trade some paint. You felt so good saying that. I wish it was like.
That's what you say in the biz.
Which biz is it?
I don't know.
NASCAR? Is it NASCAR? Oh shit! I watched that E60 with McGee.
Oh, you did?
The Intimidator.
Really?
Oh my god! It is awesome. It is absolutely. I was going to save this for tomorrow for the NASCAR conversation, but
don't tell me it was good.
Do you know when he crashed and passed? Obviously. He was blocking cars basically for his kid and the other person that he owned the car for. Oh. So I think it was Waltrip. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know. He owned the two. His son and somebody else were in first and second. He was in third. He was blocking basically.
Damn.
They show the clip and you see him actually like blocking, and then he gets spun out into the wall dead in that whole thing. But they have a full breakdown of it. Listening to that, it was like an hour-long E60. McGee did a hell of a job. Hey, McGee did a hell of a job on that thing.
McGee's a journalist.
It was really awesome to watch, especially now that I'm, kind of diving into NASCAR after Daytona. I enjoyed the hell out of that. The Intimidator did not fuck around, by the way. He played no games at all out there.
I think they did like an actual movie about him on ESPN not too long ago. I believe Barry Pepper, good actor, plays Dale Earnhardt. It's pretty solid. You should check it out.
The crash, though, completely changed the entire future because they had this device, Hans device, a head and neck support, I think, maybe, where whenever guys were dying, there was like 9 guys that died in 10 years in NASCAR. And I think the year 2000, maybe 2 or 3 guys died just that year. And what would happen is they would crash, and they had a good, roll cage and everything like that, even though those got fucked up sometimes. They would crash head first, and their head would leave because they were strapped here. Their heads would go so far forward, it would break the bottom of their head, the top of their neck. Yeah. So that would just like almost instant death or whatever. It was the same injury for all of them. Jesus. They created this device called a Hans thing that they would put over their shoulders, and then the helmet would attach to that. So your helmet would stay with your body basically so that your head didn't get shot forward. None of the racers wanted it. They're like, we ain't doing that. Dale Earnhardt actually on record saying, I don't want it. That's not. And he talked about like numerous times because so many guys were dying. Basically, he was like, they died loving what they were doing, basically. And if it ever happened to me, I'd be happy because this is all I ever wanted to do, basically. Then it happened. Then immediately upon Dale Earnhardt passing, they changed the rules and were like, everybody has to wear one of these. 0 deaths since that day. So Dale Earnhardt's legacy is basically that he saved everybody's life because he was the guy who had the last accident. It was very fascinating to watch. Very, very fast. I learned a lot about it. But him blocking for his kid and whatever, I mean, it was pretty fucking cool little thing. I'm slowly getting really into NASCAR right now. Slowly. I got a lot of cars. I enjoy maybe if KY's out there potentially intimidating people like Dale Earnhardt a little bit, I think I'll get into it even more.
There's a new NASCAR show on Netflix too with Kevin James called The Crew.
Oh yeah, I tried to watch it. Hey, it was terrible.
No,
you don't say.
No,
you're throwing out The Crew after bashing Young Raw,
bro. Listen, I'm a Kevin James guy.
Yeah, the zookeeper.
Okay, that show was tough.
Oh, man.
Anyways, I would recommend the E60 Intimidator. The legacy of Dale Earnhardt was pretty.
Check it out.
McGee did a hell of a job.
Hell yeah,
McGee's a G, man.
He is.
He is.
I love
McGee.
I love McGee.
So do I.
Could he not have a better name for what he is, by the way?
No.
McGee.
I don't even know what his first name is.
Well, Marty and
McGee. I think he just goes by McGee.
Foxy, what's your problem?
No, I just remember you down at the national championship, and you were on their show, and just a lot of funny moments. I was just recollecting those and laughing at.
Literally, I sit down and I say, I cannot believe I'm on with fucking Marty and fucking McGee right now. This is awesome. We're big watchers of Marty and McGee.
First name Ryan McGee.
Ryan McGee.
Yeah.
He gave that speech. He had to give that speech about his great uncle was in the Civil War or
Slave
whatever.
owner? Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think he was. I think he was just in the war on the losing team.
I'm pretty sure in his family somewhere way back. They were slave owners.
That was the whole heritage thing you were saying.
Yeah, but I think he was talking about his uncle being like one of the last people on the lines of, our great uncle was like a fighter or whatever, basically for the
Confederacy?
The Confederacy down there. I don't know if he said he said that they were plantation owners. I didn't hear that. I heard that he was a
in
fighter.
there, but I mean, don't talk to me about heritage is really all I remember from that.
Yeah, because he said, like, listen, my family was in there fighting for the wrong thing, and we've all been like, why did we do that? It almost felt like for McGee, it was like a weight that was on him he had to let out there. I'm from Pittsburgh, though. We're undefeated. So,
hey,
nobody talks about that.
Can you ask Foxy, since I will be coming there tomorrow, maybe print out Mitt's top 10 free agent list for me? I'd like to. That might be a topic I.
We'll have it ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
We have a whole graphic.
We're actually going to have him
This
do
show
100.
has done so many good things. It's grown so much. You're getting a chance to host a very fucking large show, okay? I don't need you fucking running into the ground. I don't sleep. I'm on my Twitter all day, every day trying to learn things. And here we have you driving in on a fucking bum wheel trying to take it right into the goddamn ground, all right? Mitt, I love Mitt. He's an incredibly hard worker.
Best.
There's no reason that motherfucker's calling in asking for Mitt's top 10. Do you think Mitt deserves a top 10? What do you see with Connor? We do a Mitt top 10 on this show. Connor's going to put together a top 20. And if we don't cover it, I'm a bad guy. Then all of a sudden, Ty's putting together a top 15. And then Nick's almost got we got the top 10 most insufferable sitcoms. It'll become like everybody's fucking top 10s become in there. We judge other people's top 10s, okay? Mm-hmm. Don't need to be doing Mitt's top 10 is unbelievable. But we don't need that in this particular office at this time.
I mean, Mitt's top 10 could derail the NFL forever.
All right, let's get to a fucking real.
Can you please just look at number 1 on Mitt's top 10?
Put it up, please.
Oh, I just saw it.
Dark Prescott. All right, take it down. What? They spelled Dak's name wrong. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. I knew, like, now Mitt's embarrassed. Everybody's laughing at Mitt. There's no reason to do that. Sometime an adult, it has to come into the room. All right?
Fucking Dark
AJ Hawk will be the host tomorrow. Linda Cohn on Friday. Chris Mad Dog Russo and Mad Dog Unleashed is next. I'll see you Monday. Actually, I'll be here tomorrow because I fucked up. Mad Dog Unleashed is next. He spelled Dak's fucking name wrong. First, Dark Prescott. Like, this is...
He's such a good quarterback. Dark's going to be unbelievable next year.
It's unbelievable. This show stinks, dude.
Wait, did he turn that in? Did he like send that to somebody and say, "Hey, here's my list"?
Twitter. Yeah, he tweeted it.
Send it to the world. He tweeted that.
Put it up.
Don't put it up.
Look at this.
AJ Green, number 2.
Money Mitt, he's calling himself.
But why is it? Why do you have parentheses QB? Had to do it.
Because he's explaining why Dak Prescott is the number 1 free agent coming up. Listen, I want to let this be known. Money Mitt is an incredibly hard worker.
That's right.
Oh, yeah. He is.
The guy is persistent. He never left. That's why he currently has a job right now.
Yeah.
But I don't know if we need to be putting his top 10s into this show just yet. You know, I think maybe another year, 2, maybe 3 to get Dak Prescott into the conversation. Maybe that's something we think about going for.
I mean, you can be an incredibly hard worker, which Mitt is, like, bar
unbelievable.
none. He's also a stone cold doofus, which, you know, proves it time and time again.
All right, let's move forward.
But Mitt, how was your reaction online?
We're not fucking, like, who cares? Nobody cares, all right? Let's just move on. Mitt just puts himself in buried positions all the time. I mean, he walks into the door, walks into public, does his thing, which I love, and then all of a sudden it's just like, Mitt probably should have just potentially did, and then he goes to the next one, you know? It's kind of like part of the charm of the whole thing.
What's his foolproof plan on gambling? Did we ever actually hear that
Oh,
from
yeah,
him?
he figured it out. Yeah, him and Dwight Freeney, by the way, have the exact same... Mitt, what was the foolproof plan on gambling? How do we win? How do we ensure victory at all times whenever we're sports gambling?
Look how ready he is.
Go ahead, Mitt. Go ahead.
Every time you lose, just double down.
Okay. See, that's it.
Okay.
That's how you do it. You know what I mean?
What happens? What happens if you run out of money, Mitt?
It doesn't
double
happen.
down.
Nah, it's money
You just
Mitt,
keep doubling down.
Your
Made of
allowance
money.
comes next week, dude.
All right, I gotta get to a plane. I'm sorry, Mitt. This is TJ's fault.
Love you, Mitt.
I love you too.
Love you, Mitt.
Anyways, don't try to just completely ruin the show tomorrow, please.
Hey, yeah. On a side note, I don't need the top 10.
Mitt did not deserve that. Mitt did not deserve that. See, none of this.
Didn't.
Yeah, he went at me this morning, so I'm kind of glad this happened.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Whose generation's fault is it?
I always had Mitt's back, and then he just fucking smacked me in the mouth like that.
He did. He did.
Smacked you in the
I forgot about that. He did. Yeah, he pointed a finger right at him.
Really?
He said, don't lump me in with that guy.
Whoa!
See that we already had this whole thing.
We did that.
We already had this entire thing. AJ, safe travels tomorrow morning, bub.
Thank you. Safe travels to you as well, wherever you're going.
I'll be on the beach somewhere.
Nice.
Some beach. Somewhere. Probably some country music playing if I had to guess around us if we...
Kenny?
Oh, hell yeah.
By the way, the map, it shows only 2 parts of America have weather above 50, where I'm headed, and then Hawaii as well. So I think it is going to be a packed house wherever the hell I go. It's potentially just going to be humans on top of humans. Can't wait for it. Just can't wait for it.
Yeah, I'm sure. Hey, how does
What's that?
Sam obviously is an absolute angel for being married to you, but how does she handle, like, if you guys are just finally relaxing, laying out, you finally got off of FaceTime with a NASCAR guy you promised 4 days ago tomorrow, and you're sitting there in the sun having a good time, and you hear, like, multiple people like, hey, Pat, got any vitamins? Like, you have people just start yelling out to you.
Yeah. I'm really good at the how you doing, keep it moving combos, though, at this point. I've gotten pretty good at them.
How do you keep it moving, though? People want to talk to you. Like, people want to ask me about you a lot. How do you keep it moving without being a dick?
I have I embrace in full conversations with everybody, and then it's just kind of like a how you doing, keep it moving type thing. I'll talk to people, but Sam doesn't love it. When we're eating, Sam gets very pissed off. Very. And I'm always like, pretty cool, they know who I am, man.
She's like, yeah, you didn't have to sit there and take 12 pictures with his whole family and tell a 20-minute story.
No, the people who ask her to take a picture, though, I almost smack in her mouth. I'm like, you fucking take the picture yourself, pal. We had a good thing going here, and then you asked my wife to take it, but she hates me. She hates you. She does not want to take this photo right now. I'm very excited for what's about to happen. I mean, I got like an hour here to kind of wait until the flight takes off or whatever, but I'm pumped, dude. I'm excited. I'm going to be so fucking burnt, maybe. If the sun
worth
comes
it.
out.
Then so goddamn cold here.
So goddamn cold. And I guess the snow is really cold. Like, I don't think you're going to be able to make it over here tomorrow. It's supposed to be pretty bad, I guess.
When's it supposed to start?
Tomorrow morning, 3 a.m. or whatever.
Oh, I'm good. I'll be in there before the bad stuff gets there.
2 a.m.
What time are you
When are you
leaving,
leaving?
dude?
I don't know. I'll time it up. Hey, Ty.
He doesn't even know what that means.
Again.
Yep, sounds good. Bring donuts, will you?
Please.
Oh yeah, definitely bring donuts. Maybe I'll come make breakfast. You want me to make breakfast for everybody?
That would be.
Hey, your eggs were very good. Your eggs were very
No
good.
salt and pepper, though.
Didn't put any seasoning on it though, because he does not know your taste buds.
Or cooked them because he
bits
just
of turkey
drank
in there.
them. He was just cracking eggs into a cup last time.
Yeah, eating raw chicken.
Here?
Yeah, it was like Rocky.
Real? I didn't know you do that. That's interesting.
Yep.
Yep.
I got a lift.
I heard you listen to the Jason Sanders interview. Your thoughts on that? I always get very intrigued by people that choose not to spend any of their money. I'm like, what are you doing? Let's go. Isn't that what you work for? What is the purpose? It seems like he's probably going to have that dollar until the day he dies that he just got paid.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, but he was on a rookie deal until now, so maybe give him some time, let it sink in to where he can realize, like, hey, yeah, I can actually buy some sweet stuff now.
Oh yeah, this is what you have money for. Huh. Yeah, I'm gonna buy a 2015 Raptor.
Yeah.
2014 Raptor, he said. I bought a car already.
Stock.
That guy, I mean, I guess I envy that a little bit. That'd be cool. But boy, that got to be tough to just look at things and just be like, nah, I don't want it. It's in the open to this show. What am I supposed to do? Look at something I can't afford that I want and say, no? Nobody has been able to answer that question to me. What are you? Jason Sanders can just look at it and go, no, I got a 14 Raptor, dude. Don't fucking need it. Thing's almost an antique at this point. 15 years, I believe, is an antique. It's halfway home to that thing. He's just like, nah, I don't need it, Ty. I don't know how you do it.
Buy a $15 million house, dude.
Just spend it all. Go into debt, dude.
Yeah. Who cares? You're doing good. You're going to get another one.
Yeah,
you know?
bro. Do what 80% of professional athletes do. File for bankruptcy 2 years after you retire.
It'd be awesome.
Good for him. He's doing it right. But I'm just saying, I don't know how he is doing that. And I've seen your house, too. It seems like you spent some money as well.
Well,
there's certain things you choose to spend money on and certain things I choose to not spend money on.
The Ohio State boosters bought it from.
Yeah, you do get cars just because you're an Ohio State legend, so you don't have to do that.
Under Armour checks showing up weekly.
Oh,
dude.
yeah. Click, clack! I forgot about that.
Big residuals from that commercial.
Hey, there's still commercials floating around the internet, by the way, from like you, I think like 5-10 years ago, and they're just showing up as promoted posts. Are you still getting paid by those people, or are they just using your image and likeness right now?
I don't know what you're referencing or what you saw.
Omega Brain on Instagram.
Yeah.
Hyundai.
You tossed a guy from like a porch one time.
Yeah.
From a house.
I did what from a porch?
You killed a guy.
Hey, you threw him. Like,
That was an AT&T thing back in the day. I threw
better
the
lay
dude off
low.
my porch.
Yeah.
Yeah, on it as well pops up with your
Okay.
some other stuff. You still getting paid by those people?
Everything's good. Everything's taken care of.
Click, clack.
Appreciate you, AJ.
Thank you, AJ.
Safe travels tomorrow. I'll be FaceTiming in to talk the NASCAR talk.
Who is the NASCAR person?
Ty Dillon. He's a big fan. I met him. He's racing this weekend, I think.
All right.
Let's go.
I believe he's racing this weekend. He
Is
came.
that the Daytona Street course?
Yeah, road course. But he gets the show a lot. Like I think he's gonna be a great guest. And I like
Good.
Pretty cool.
What time?
I think it's a 1:05. I think.
Let's go.
Okay. You calling in right from the jump?
Yeah, I'll be there for the first hour or whatever. I think I legally have to with my contract with Sirius, so it doesn't count as a day.
Oh, nice.
Smart.
Gotcha.
How long do you have to be on?
I would assume an hour and a half is enough. I haven't
Plenty.
done-
You're fine.
So I'll go an hour and 31 minutes or whatever. So it's more than.
Nice.
And then my service down there is going to get bad. I'm going to be on the full show tomorrow, but there's a chance
We'll
I'm on
see.
if the service is
Hopefully.
good. A lot of people down there know.
The service doesn't work. It's out of your hands.
But I
right?
was on the show for more than half.
Yeah.
Well, they got the new 5G polls going up, so
Not
who
where,
knows?
not where I'm at. Not where I'm at.
Well,
No, yeah, certainly not.
no, I'm saying that. I mean, they're putting those up. That's going to scramble connections big time. So,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's in the antennas, yeah.
There's allegedly 6G or 10G coming from Elon.
10G.
Skynet, right? Or no, Skynet's the implant in your brain, right? Or no, it's Neuralink.
Skynet is Terminator.
Yeah, it's a Terminator. And if that happens,
Neuralink.
we die.
does sound like Terminator is happening, though, with Elon.
Neuralink, yeah.
So you can see how you could get those two potentially confused. But I guess he's opening up the internet. He wants to be able to shoot into the countries and continents that don't have internet. So it looks like 5G is just the beginning of this whole thing. I think it's only going to get bigger and wider, I think, with this whole thing.
Have you ever seen? I've seen the little YouTube clips of people that get his like Skynet satellite dish and they beam internet to them, and they test it and show you what how fast it is.
What's the up down?
I don't know how good it is. I think it's more for like if you're out in the middle of nowhere, rural areas. It's not great for like cities.
Oh, okay.
Oh, people are saying Starlink.
Starlink.
There it is.
Skynet, Starlink.
Same difference.
Two things.
Skynet's a movie, right? In a movie.
Well, John Giggins, too, yesterday. It was a massive fuck up by us.
Nick Giffen?
There it is.
No, you said at first. At first, yesterday, I think you said, what is this, Chris Woosa or Nick Woosa?
John Wilson. John Wilson. It's Chris Giggins.
Nick Giffen.
Nick. I'm going to go to a beach. I will see you all tomorrow. I appreciate you guys, by the way.
Appreciate you. Hey, have fun down there, huh?
Diggs, we hope you're having a great trip. We can't wait to see you whenever you're back. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Let's not bury Mitt, okay? Mitt doesn't know what he doesn't know. There's no reason for that to happen out there.
Maybe just don't put yourself in those situations, Mitt.
He can, but we don't have to satellite it.
I know, but you just don't have to. No one needs your top 10 free agents.
No. You keep making content, Mitt. You do what you have to do, pal.
Put the free agents out. Maybe just double check. Make sure you don't put Dark Prescott right at the top there.
Number one.
Yeah, exactly. Because guess what? No one's making it to number 2. That's all they're going to be talking about.
He was so focused on QB had to do it. He forgot his fucking
had to.
name.
His hands are tied.
Mitt, I like that you took your shot there, okay? And I want you to continue to be Money Mitt on the internet. But that doesn't mean that this show has to put everything he does into spotlight, okay? Kid's going to have hits. He's going to have misses. We got to kind of get to the point where we think he's stepping into the box and there's a chance the ball is going to hit the bat, all right?
Mm-hmm.
So TJ wanted to propel him into a moment right there. We didn't need that from Mitt yet. Mitt ain't ready for his top 10 free agent list to get judged by all of us, especially the toxic table, which is what has happened yet.
I will say, though, more people were mad about number 2, AJ Green, and just in general, though. They looked past Dark.
Yeah, but those people, who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. That's the thing about that, you know?
Sure. Yeah.
Hey, Mitt.
Would be great to get AJ Green, though, in Indianapolis. Oh, my God. Get him in Indy, Mitt. Let's go.
Partner Dark with AJ? Are you kidding me? They're going to be unbelievable.
All right.
Mitt, tell Mitt, don't be scared to be very active on social media tonight. I'll be reviewing it.
That's unbelievable. Mitt is going to become the authority on this. Need you to rank the teams. Need you to do everything that they do over at those other networks, Mitt. And then when players are going to get upset with these lists, and then there's going to be people, and then they're going to see Mitt at the end, and they're going to be like, this is who it's coming from? Yeah.
Who's this Money Mitt guy?
I love
It's going to happen. It is going to happen, man.
Somebody will put Mitt's opinions as a chip on their shoulder to go win a Super Bowl next year. Yeah. Mitt's winning the Super Bowl for people.
Pin it on their profile.
Bleacher Report called me the worst draft pick of all time, Darius said. Somebody's going to go all pro and be like, Money Mitt over there.
It's like Jason Kelsey with Llama.
Michael Lombardi. Yeah. Money Mitt said. Oh, I don't think we're ready for that yet. Now, granted, it might get very slow this offseason, and we will be ready for that. And maybe the kid will get called up a lot sooner than he should, but hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully the other ranking stooges at other places will be able to keep, carrying that torch. But whenever time comes to pass the baton, I do believe Money Mitt is prepping for his time to come, and it's just not exactly right now. We're only 2 weeks into the offseason.
True.
Okay? When we get the Money Mitt list, that's at least a month or two from now.
Yeah.
Where did Money Mitt come? Did someone give him that nickname?
I think because he's been winning.
He's been making that money.
I saw someone tweeted at him. I actually loved it.
Well, there's Money Matt Smith over there at the NFL Network. He's very good at what he does, but can he hold the jockstrap of Money Mitt? That is TBD.
Heavy jock.
Jesus, Mitt. Man, why'd you do the top 10? Why not just top 5? What was the thoughts? We're going to do all 10 of them here. Did you see somebody else's list and you're like, good list? Let me change some things. The spelling and stuff. What? Like, how did this? How did this come about?
I saw just a random list on one of the TVs, and I was like, "Oh, that list is really stupid. I think my list is probably pretty stupid. I want to see what the internet thinks."
No, your list is good, by the way, man.
Yeah.
Your list is good.
Better than that other one.
You have a player that doesn't even exist on there.
Yeah.
Why'd you have to do it with the QB, though, Mitt?
It's QB-driven league. Tell him, Mitt. It's QB-driven league.
The I had to do it was actually kind of a reference to how I always spell shit wrong. And, yeah,
No,
shut up,
Mitt. This is what I'm talking about.
Shut up,
Sit down, Mitt.
What?
Mitt, you don't deserve anything that's about to be said about you, even though you walked right into things that are about to be said about you, okay? TJ, that is why what you called in for was terrible. You continuing to push this whole thing, you two definitely. Mitt's going to think about this tonight. His brain doesn't work that well all the time, but tonight he's going to think about this, and hopefully he'll get better. And when Mitt's time comes, it'll come right on time. I want to let everybody know that.
Hell yeah.
Top 5 list coming tomorrow.
He should be making bottom lines for all the shows on TV right now.
All right, we're out of here. AJ, good luck on your travels, boys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pat.
One day. Okay, tomorrow. One day. Let's have a show, boys. Let's have a show.
Hell yeah.
Man, it's all going to come crashing.
Hey, so on Friday, is Linda Cohn going to have Mitt as her co-host?
Jeff Schwartz, I think.
And
Yes, then I
Whoa, AJ.
Jeff's good. Jeff's really good. I've worked with him.
Didn't seem
like it. Tell your mouth that.
What'd my mouth do? No, I meant like I was.
Like, I think
upset.
what I just made was exactly.
Yeah, it was the reaction of like, oh, Jesus, that guy
Okay.
stinks.
I didn't mean it that way. Sorry to Jeff if he sees this. I meant that like, oh no, Mitt is not joining Linda.
No, yeah, Mitt will not be joining Linda Cohn. Jeff Schwartz, Linda Cohn will host on Friday, and I'm very thankful for them doing that. I might call into that show as well. We'll see. I won't actually. I'll be so
Enjoy
fucked
it.
up. I will
Enjoy
be
it.
so gone.
Hell yeah.
Wait till tomorrow. I mean, what is that? Noon tomorrow?
Yeah.
We already had brunch. Probably already made our way down to the beach or whatever. Some things have already been digested and indulged.
Mm-hmm.
Should be a good time. Appreciate you, AJ. I really do appreciate you guys. But let's not fucking ruin Mitt before he becomes something special, all right?
yeah.
Never.
We love you,
Wouldn't
Mitt.
do it.
You guys would do it.
No.
and that's
No,
why
no,
I'm
no.
saying don't do it.
I can't wait to gas up Mitt's next list. Yeah.
No, but that's what you're doing, though. You're ruining Mitt without even realizing what you're doing.
No, you're making him better. You're making him better.
Yeah,
by
but you
doing
can do
this.
that privately. We don't need to do it publicly in front of everybody.
I told him to put it out.
Stay out of your own way, Mitt. Stay out of your own way, Mitt.
All right, see you guys. Have a great fucking day. That's your show.